We have a special Father's Day edition of Boy Green Daily starting right now. Let's go.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green fucking Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Zooey mama.
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily. Normally a daily video show talking all things New York Jets, but today is a special episode. I see that we have a bunch of memberships to get to, and we'll get to all that, I promise. But I want to first off wish a special happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and I hope you guys have an awesome day or have continuing to have an awesome weekend. But I just want to start off with a story of how me and my father met Bret Michaels last night, and it was one of the craziest things of all time. So I'm going to walk you through it. We have some photo evidence. I'll tell some funny stories and everything else in between. And I will get to all the memberships, I promise. And there's a cool story to tell with Austrian and also Scotty. That'll be coming up. But we'll tell all that. But first, I want to start with this. So let me lay it all out on the line. We'll tell this Bret Michaels story. And then maybe we'll talk some Jets. And hopefully we can hear some of your guys' Father Day stories or anything you guys want to share in a bit. But I want to start here. So here's the laydown. Me and my dad have a very special relationship. I'm a Paul Eston Jr., he's Paul Eston Sr. There's a special connection that I've always had with my father, and something we've done because, he spent 20 years in the United States Navy. The time that I got to spend with my dad was very different growing up, and there was all kinds of, different things that were going on. So what made it really special is when I was, getting to be a teenager and turning into an adult, my dad made Father's Day a really big deal. And we would do one special event, normally once a year. And it wasn't on Father's Day weekend. It would just be at some time during the year, but it was in honor of Father's Day so we could spend time together. And so my dad, being the dad, has organized all of these over the years. We've done all kinds of cool stuff, and I don't want to say anything and leave potentially anything out, but we went to a Red Sox game and an NFL game and a Notre Dame game or UFCs, and he paired all of these events on a singular weekend, and it would just be amazing. It would be awesome. So I said, you know what? This year, I want to do something for my dad. He's always doing something for me. Let me organize the trip, pick what we're going to do, and surprise the heck out of him. And let's make it cool, and let's do something special. So a couple of months ago, I was just thinking, man, what can I do? Where can I go? What can I do? What can I pick to make it happen? And as you see it on my shirt, me and my dad are massive Bret Michaels fans, the lead singer of Poison, and he does his own thing, Bret Michaels Band. And I'll tell you that I became a rock and roll fan, classic rock fan when I was growing up. My dad, there was some music he was always playing, and our favorite band was Poison, and our favorite musician was Bret friggin' Michaels. And I thought, boy, and I've been to several Bret Michaels / Poison concerts in the past, and they were all awesome. But I said, man, it would be so cool if I was able to organize everything with my dad and then just surprise him like, booyah, you bastard, we're going. Anywho, so, and obviously we get to have him on the show each week. It's very special. So I planned it all out, and shout out to my fiance. She picked out the shirts, story on the shirts in a minute, but she did an amazing attention to detail. We're wearing bandanas. Here it is, right? Bandanas. That's a Bret Michaels staple, as that's stuck, and this is embarrassing. She got us bandanas, she got us snacks, she got us all kinds of cool attention to detail stuff. So an amazing shout out to my fiance for making it even more special. And anywho, long story short, I get my dad to go to Pennsylvania. And let me make this clear. We're not from Pennsylvania. I live in New York. My dad lives all over the place in Atlanta and New Hampshire for his job. So we don't live in Pennsylvania. So I had to somehow get him to Pennsylvania without him knowing what he was going to Pennsylvania for. So I had to recruit his wife, aka my mom, to try to help lure him and say, yeah, come on, just do it, even though he had no idea what it was for. And, yeah, I had to work all those balls. Anywho, long story short, my pop says, fine, I'll come. I'll come to this random place in Grantville, Pennsylvania, where we're at right now, a place I've never been in my life. And we decide to go to Pennsylvania. I know it's for the Bret Michaels concert. He does not. So I pick him up from the airport. We come back to this hotel room that I'm in right now, and I film it because I want to have it forever, this moment. I've been able to do some cool stuff for my dad over the years, but I wanted to record it forever to surprise him with the tickets. And so these shirts that my fiance picked out, so shout out to my fiance. What happened is that I had this shirt, one for me, one for my dad, the same shirt in a suitcase bag. And I told my dad, okay, this folded shirt is going to explain what this entire trip is about. So I slap it on the table. The video's out on social media. And I say, open it up. And it'll tell you what it is. And I'm recording the video. And I'm like, and he opens it, goes, holy bleep, it's Bret Michaels. I'm like, yeah, baby, we're going. And at this point, the only thing we're doing is just going to the concert. We got great tickets. We're going to see the show. And that's basically the whole Father's Day weekend. So that's all that happens, right? I give him the shirt. We go crazy. I post that video of me giving him the shirt on social media. And I'm like, all right, there we go. Yeah. Hey, everybody, this cool thing happened. I want to shout it out to the world. The venue that Bret Michaels is playing at, the Hollywood Casino. Okay. Let me make sure I get the full name right here. Okay. The Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racing Course. I believe this is what we have here. Yeah. Hollywood Casino at Penn National Race Course. I want to make sure I get it right. They see the video. They comment and say, DM us, but they don't say for what. So I assume it's some special, like maybe they're going to give us a t-shirt or something. I don't know. They were moved by the video, but they're not responding. So like a lot of time is going by. So me and my dad are just hanging out during the weekend. We arrive here on Friday night. And then Saturday's the concert. And then Sunday, I dropped my dad off early in the morning this morning at the airport. And so they don't tell us what perk may be coming. Well, we're at a restaurant. Okay. We're at a restaurant in random somewhere here in Pennsylvania. And I get a DM on Instagram. Again, from the Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse, their official Instagram. And they say, Paul, we want to make your trip with your dad even more special. How would you like to meet Bret Michaels after the show? And I lose my shit in this restaurant going, what the bleep? And I start freaking out. My dad's in the bathroom. He has no idea what I'm freaking out about. So I sort of calm down. Okay, let me calm down. And then my dad comes out from the bathroom, and I'm like, we're going to fucking meet Bret Michaels. And he goes like, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. I'm like, no, we're going to meet Bret Michaels. And so it's amazing. We see the show. The show is badass. Bret Michaels is awesome. There's also Quiet Riot there. Night Ranger was there. It was an amazing show, right? So after the show, though, we're going to go get to meet Bret Michaels. We don't really know what it all entails. Is it going to be a photo? Is it going to be a chat? What is it all going to include? Is what we're all sort of waiting for. Anywho, now it's picture time, okay? We're gonna play some photos, okay? This is a funny story, which I probably shouldn't tell. It makes me look like an idiot. But let me explain why I'm an idiot, okay? Let me do that right off the bat here, if I can, of why I'm a moron, all right? So we're going to take pictures with Bret Michaels. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what we find out. We line up, so the concert's over. We're lining up. We get to they zoom us to the front of the line of the meet and greet. And people have paid all kinds of crazy money for this meet and greet. We get it for free. Blessed be he. And that was amazing that we got an opportunity to go do this. So they zoom us to the front of the line because it's this cool Father's Day story on Flag Day and Father's Day and everything. So they zoom us to the front of the line. So we're the first people to meet Bret. And I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking insane. And what they explain is line up against the wall. Bret's going to come out of his trailer behind this thing that we can't see, and he's going to come up and take a photo with you guys. Have your phones ready, and then just sort of move along. There's a lot of people. I'm like, okay, of course. Makes sense. So anywho, Bret Michaels emerges, and because I'm the first in line, just starts chatting me up, saying, man, what an awesome concert, and shaking my hand, talking about, I'm like, holy shit, this is Bret freaking Michaels. So here is, again, why I'm an idiot. So, okay, let's go to show and tell time. So photo one, right? So we take a picture of Bret Michaels. Now, my go-to on photos is this, like aloha. I don't even know. Mahala. I'm not sure. I always do that. I've done it for a while. Not sure. But then I realized after we do this photo, I'm an idiot. Like, what is this? We're at a rock concert. Horns up, baby. So at first, they take the lovely assistant to Bret Michaels takes the photo, and I look like an idiot. I'm doing this. He has the horns up. I'm like, God, Jesus, I'm an idiot. Then, thankfully, they take another picture, and I was able to switch from this to the horns. Rock. The universal sign for rock and roll. Thank God we have a photo of the horns up. Thank goodness. So that's where it all goes. All right. So, but here's the problem. Me and my dad are together. There's a long line of people. Bret Michaels and his assistant is like, hey, you buddy, move along. Then me and Bret are taking, we're taking the picture all together. But unfortunately, it's just me and Bret. Now, if that's all it is, fine. I just met Bret Michaels. That's the coolest thing of all time. I was hoping to get a picture of me and Bret and my dad. So I'm like, well, it is what it is. Because again, they said move it along. Don't chit chat. Even though Bret Michaels did talk to us and had a nice time. So I get horns up. I take my picture and I move along. So I move to the right of Bret Michaels off stage, waiting for my dad to take his picture. Okay, look at my dad. He's a genius. Look at him. Horns up. Takes a great picture. Bret Michaels, my dad. Wow. Okay. Awesome job, Pop. So I'm about to, well, that's it. That's the picture. Bret Michaels says, hey, Paul. Or not, hey, Paul. I don't know if he said my name. I probably made that part up. But he's like, hey, can we all take a picture together? He realized that we were a pair because we're wearing the same shirt, and these shirts were not sold at the concert. So they're unique. So he said, oh, can we all take a picture together? And I'm like, blessed be he. Awesome. I want to take a picture with Bret Michaels and my dad because I want this epic photo that we'll have forever. Okay. So he surprised me and says, like, Paul, get your ass back over here. I'm like, okay, I'm in. So I go over, right? We go over, and this happens. They take this photo. Now, it all looks good, right? You'll notice at the bottom left-hand corner there, I've got my hand in my pocket like an idiot because I wasn't expecting to get another photo of Bret Michaels. So I'm trying to shove my phone in my pocket, and I'm unsuccessful. Here's the phone. I'm just going, come on, stupid phone, because the assistant's trying to go quick. There's a lot of people. So it's like 3, 2, 1, click, click. And I'm like, son of a, there's all these photos of me looking like an idiot trying to get my phone in my pocket. Here is exhibit 1. Here is exhibit 2. Here is exhibit 3. And again, I'm a moron. I'm just freaking shoving this gosh darn phone in my pocket like a moron. And then they take the photos. It looks like we're going to go. So me and my dad are about to mosey along on our way. Bret Michaels says, now, wait just a second. I saw this guy. He didn't get the horns up. He had his hand in his pocket. And I was like, what? Bret Michaels noticed that I didn't get the horns up? And he said, dude or brother, it happens to me all the time. Let's take a photo, get your phone in your pocket. Let's get the horns up, baby. I'm like, oh my God. Bret Michaels, first off, noticed I'm an idiot, which is sort of embarrassing and will be in my mind for the rest of my life. But also, then we got the golden thing here where we all got our horns up. Bret Michaels, me, my dad, booyah. And now we have this story forever. Bret Michaels, party grass. I mean, what a friggin' time. So unbelievable, so awesome. He's a great performer, great energy, jumping around, great songs. If any of you have never heard Bret Michaels, you should absolutely, first off, get everything checked because you should have already been on the Bret Michaels train. But here we are. That's how it happened. Funny story. Got to chat it up with Bret Michaels. This is my favorite musician of all time. Of my favorite band of all time, which is Poison. So to meet him in person, especially after the show where he just rocked all of our socks off, and then to meet him with my dad is a moment I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life. Now I understand. This is going to be weird. Some of you tune in every day for New York Jets talk, and obviously I've given you zip and pip of that. But this, I won't lie, is a special show. It's a Father's Day show. I hope you guys can share in on the Father's Day stories. Maybe you guys have one of yourselves. I wanted to remember this forever with a Forever Boy Green Daily about it. Friggin' amazing Father's Day to everyone out there in the universe. Being a father is one of the greatest treasures of my life. And 100%, Terrence Hill says, put that pic on the back shelf. That is 100% happening. As quickly as possible, I'm putting that into a Canva or some sort of canvas so it's behind me on every Boy Green Daily moving forward. It's one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And again, it wouldn't have been possible without the Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse. Thank you to them. I posted the video of me surprising my dad, and they took it to another level and surprised me. This is just unbelievable. And man, Bret Michaels is so cool, man. I don't know how it is for all kinds of celebrities that you guys get a chance to meet. I have, as I've said a million times over, a horseshoe or a four-leaf clover shoved up my ass because I just get lucky. I win contests. I win all kinds of crazy shit in the universe, and it's just insane. It's insane. I don't know how I do it. The people around me hate it normally. They're like, oh, God, okay, Paul, you won another something. Shut up. But this was just insane. I freaked out like a schoolgirl when I was at that restaurant, and I got the Instagram DM that said, hey, you're going to go meet Bret Michaels. And I will tell you, the other part of the story I didn't tell is this. So, you know, my original goal months ago, right? I want to do something really special for my dad. And the concert and getting in there and all that was going to be cool. But I said, you know, it would be really cool meeting Bret Michaels. And, you know, I looked into it of like how much does a meet and greet cost? I sort of had an idea in my head, but I wasn't exactly sure. I don't freaking know. I've never done one. I'm not sure. And I was like, you know, maybe a couple $100, maybe, you know, $200 or $300 per person, maybe. I have no idea. And then I look on the website and there are 2 levels to it. And I want to, hey, Bret Michaels, who may see this maybe at some point, no shame, man. You charge whatever you want. You're Bret frickin' Michaels, okay? I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm just saying, as a common average Joe, there was 2 levels to the potential meet and greet. $1,100, that's where you party with them on the side of the stage and all kinds of crazy stuff. Or $600 per person, $1,100 per person, or $600 per person. The $600 one was, I think, essentially what me and my dad got with a photo and got to chat with him after the show and stuff like that. And I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, I've got 2 children, $600 per person, and I can't do it without my dad. So it's $1,200, and I already spent whatever I spent on the concert, everything. I'm like, it would be life-changing memory, but how am I going to do this? So I'll tell you this, just more of the story. I was looking around my house at my Jets memorabilia. Here brings it full circle. And I'm like, I love this stuff, but could I sell it just for the money to have a chance to meet Bret Michaels with my dad? It would be so cool. So I started pricing out some of my cool autograph memorabilia items that I have and try to see if I could sell them to fans to see if I could make enough money that I would have enough to take my dad to this, because I just thought it would be an unbelievable experience. And it just would, $1,200 is a lot of money. So it just would have cost me a lot of my Jets memorabilia stuff and then getting the money back fast enough. So I was really just trying to figure it all out. And I was just like, yeah, how am I going to do this? And so anywho, when I surprised my dad, right, with the shirts, I ultimately realized that either I can't do it or maybe me and my dad will make an irresponsible decision. So, I told my dad after I gave him the shirt, I'm like, Dad, you know, the other thing I was going to do, who knows if we still can on his website, I want to get a meet and greet. Here's how much it is. And then me and him were doing the whole, but this. And then ultimately we didn't do it. And my dad said, let's sleep on this. Again, we arrived Friday night, the concert Saturday, and there were still meet and greets available. So he said, let's sleep on it and just think about it in the morning and see what happens. And again, I had another couple things cooking behind the scenes of trying to do whatever I could to try to meet and greet Bret Michaels. So we wake up in the morning on yesterday morning, and these tickets are sold out. They're not available. And me and my dad are going, no, now the decision has been made for us. We're not going to meet Bret Michaels. That just is what it is. We won't be able to meet him. And it was sort of sad. And I'm like, son of that sucks. And I guess it's not going to happen. So we just sort of came to a realization and acceptance. Oh boy, I just guess this isn't going to happen. And then, like I said, we get to the Instagram story and we end up finding it. So it was, we didn't have it. We thought we might get it. Then we didn't get it. And then we got it. So it's just this emotional roller coaster, quite frankly. And it was awesome. I love this from Ricky New York Live. This is a story he tells all the time on the show. He paid $375 for a ticket to the autograph session at the Hall of Fame to get to meet and greet Curtis Martin, worth every penny. And I'll tell you this, Ricky, because again, we weren't exactly sure like on Brett's website, it's not exactly descriptive of what you're getting for the 600. Like the 1100 seemed more specific. You get drinks and food and you're hanging out with Bret Michaels. So like that seemed more clear. The 600 was less clear. So I was like, do I do this or not? But I'll tell you this, after meeting him, it would be worth every penny. And I feel the exact same way as you. This photo on your screen for those watching, if you're listening, you can go to any of my socials. It will be there forever, by the way. And I'm sure I'm going to update this on some of my profile pictures and a variety of social media, like on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But at BoyGreen25, but 100%, it would have been worth it if I had paid and went through that process. It's just life-changing. I'm going to have this photo with my dad forever. I'm going to have this memory forever. I'm going to have these stories forever. And I did embarrass myself in front of Bret Michaels, which is sort of tough pill to swallow. But nonetheless, I can make myself feel better by remembering this crazy night and being able to do it. So, again, I can't thank the Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse enough. They saw the video, thought it was interesting. I met the guy behind the scenes who spotted the video on his social media and said, we had to hook you guys up. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So, wow. And I'll post more. There's pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff from the concert with me and my dad. But I wanted to kind of bring you guys in. Again, I get it. This is not Jets talk. So for anyone that came here for that and didn't get it today, I apologize to absolutely no one, because this was a transcendent story that I had to tell. I couldn't have just pretended to talk about Jet stuff and then said, yeah, we had a concert last night. Of course I had to tell about this crazy-ass Bret Michaels story. Good Lord have mercy. I mean, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. So for whatever your guys' passion is outside of football, whether it's a certain band or whatever, just do it, man. Time is limited. And it's just amazing. Again, for me, and thank you to all the photos there and to Bret Michaels' team for the photos and stuff like that. An unforgettable experience I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life. It's just that amazing. So I love my dad. Again, another special shout out to all the fathers out there. Being a father is one of the most rewarding things of my life. I love my children. I love my son, Paul Andrew Esden III. I love my daughter, Zariah Luna. I miss them dearly. After doing Boy Green Daily and some Jets articles, I'm headed home to see my family. I can't wait to embrace my beautiful fiance, Tatiana, and she helped so much with this trip. The shirts that Bret Michaels went, oh, sweet shirts. And I went, what the, Bret? I mean, I get it. It says your name, Bret Michaels, and your picture, Bret Michaels, on the shirt. So obviously you would think the shirt is cool, but he didn't say that to other people that I noticed. So he just said that to us, and I was like, wow, my fiance picked this out. Holy freaking crap. All right, Bret Michaels, you know? So, amazing. So cool. Oh, God. Wow. I still can't believe. I have to, look at the pictures to make sure it actually happened. That's how insane it is. Incredible. All right, now let's get to a few other things here. First off, a variety of things happened earlier here on the show. A variety of things. First off, Scotty Mayhem has figured out how to become a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. And for that, I think all of us have one clear thing to say, and it is, Scotty, welcome to the gosh darn Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. Welcome. Also, some of you may be asking, Paul, why are you doing the show on a hotel bed with another hotel bed behind you? Now, I would tell you that unfortunately, this hotel, there's some things that went awry. Like one of the plugs no longer working, which means this Boy Green Daily Show would have died in the middle of the show, so I had to move to a bed. The things I do for you people on Boy Green Daily to make this show happen, you will never know. But I just got to tell you, I'm doing my phone, or not my phone, the microphone that you guys are listening to me on is on this moving bed over here. So I'm trying to, do all my business. But I want to give a big salute to Scotty Mayhem, baby. A member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. He's been trying to figure it out, trying to crack the Da Vinci Code, and booyah. I've tried to make it as easy as possible. The pinned comment right now on youtube.com/BoyGreen25 in the comment section is how to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's just click the link. It says, hey, do you want to be a member? It's $2.99. And you go, okie dokie, boop. And all of a sudden, booyah, you're a member. You get a loyalty badge. Ding, ding. right here. You also get access to our full emojis that are made by Jets Worldwide. Wide. Again, they talked to a certain former Jets player on their show on Friday night. You may want to check that out in their live tab to check out that interview. Feel free to do so. Plus, you get access to the Discord where you get all kinds of bonus content that's exclusively available on Discord. So, Scotty, it took a hot second, but welcome to the show, brother. And you have a raffle ticket for our contest. Again, I think I provide one of the best values in Jets content creator land. I love all my Jets content brothers and sisters, but $2.99 gets you everything I just said plus Discord. It's just that easy. Plus, you get a raffle ticket to win free shit. You can't beat that. So I would put that up against anybody. Again, I love all my brothers and sisters in Jets content creator land, but $2.99, you can't beat that price. And I try to give you guys the most bang for your buck. So, Scotty, welcome to the show. Now, another shout out we have to give is to our number one Austrian Jet fan. And for those who don't know, number one Austrian Jet fan is, of course, one of our largest supporters on the show, financially, spiritually, emotionally, everything in between. And he provided an update this morning. And obviously, he's been in the comment section a little bit with, sharing some of his energy and love with us this morning. He gifted 20 Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. We'll talk about that in just a second, and I'll reveal those 20 members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. But I want to give this update that Austrian sent me over a direct message on Discord, which, by the way, that's another perk you get where basically you can text me. And here was the update as well from our number one Austrian Jet fan. He finished his ACE treatment between 2 and 4 to go. After a special rehab program, they're going to put him in. He will enter that to get back in working shape. He's staying positive and hopes to join us at the end of the summer on Boy Green Daily. And he said, meanwhile, while I've got the energy for you guys, I will keep you guys posted. And he planned on joining us this morning on the show. And he has been, obviously, with the memberships, but even more importantly as well. So beautiful. Let's post a picture here of our number one Austrian Jet fan. Again, love you, brother. It's good to see you here. 1 second here. Let me catch up because I have all my Bret Michaels pictures in here, which are pretty sweet, by the way. They are absolutely awesome. But let me help you out with this. 1 moment. I want to show our guy, our Austrian Jet fan here. Excuse me. Let me see. Okay, here we are. I'm a monkey operating a spotlight over here. All right, here we go. There's our number one Austrian Jet fan right there, brother. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. We love you, man. We love you. We love you. You're such an important part of this community. We're thinking about you. And it says it right on your shirt, number one Austrian Jet fan. Never quit. Never quit, man. We're all here with you. We're thinking about you all the time. Like Chef Kev, every time he calls, he puts prayers up for you, number one Austrian Jet fan. You are one of us. The Boy Green Coffee Club is a community of Jet fans that all love each other and support the bleep out of each other, man. So we're thinking about you. And thanks for being on the show today. Thanks, obviously, for the memberships, and we'll give a shout out to those people. But way even more important than the memberships, man, is you. It's you. So thank you to our number one Austrian Jet fan. Let's reveal members. Whoa, Boy Green Daily here. Let's go to here on the program. Let's go to the new members of the Boy Green Coffee Club here on the program. All right. We've got Xavier Poe, Dayboss 17, Jeff Johnson. All right. We've got John Aragbo, John Zelli, Bo Cephas, Jay Cruz, Taylor Sterling, Gator McCluskey, John LG, Mr. Bozak, 122, Three Siblings, Delusional Jet Fan, Reese, Tony Alexio, K-Brock, Ricky New York Live, Chris Bradigan, Joseph Landis, Flight Boys 2.0 Slim God, all getting memberships to the Boy Green Coffee Club, and of course 20 raffle tickets for our man, number one Austrian Jet Fan. Ho, 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 ho. I don't want to be too loud in the hotel room at 7 in the morning, but here we are. Thank you. Number one Austrian Jet fan, brother. And we will update the banner in due time here on the channel, I promise. All right, another super chat coming in. I see from our boy, A-Step10, a.k.a. Arthur, sending in a YouTube super chat here on the program. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Soraya Luna. Wow. Good morning, BG and the Coffee Club. Thanks for your support. A-Step10, a.k.a. Arthur. Appreciate you, brother. Let me put that down for your total so far this month. Ready. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let me see. Oh, yes. Here you are. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We love to see it, brother. So thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right, that is 4 more raffle tickets. You're at 30 raffle tickets on the nose. Step 10 with your previous super chat combination. Something else, again, we will add up on our total coming up in just a little bit. Thank you. Salute to you, Aced Up 10, a.k.a. Arthur. Again, folks, we're going to open up the phone lines here in just a few minutes. While we could certainly get into any Jets talk that you guys want, I hope we could get into some Father's Day stories. You guys can share a story that you have, or maybe something about Bret Michaels or Poison. If you guys are fans, you could spread the love as well. But yeah, I'd love to hear some of your Father's Day stories, or you guys could give shout outs to your fathers on the show. I'd love that. Let's spread the love. Absolutely. That would be amazing. So please, this is a day for the fathers out there. Beautiful. Let's see. Luckiest pedestrian. Golfing with my son all day in 2 hours. Haven't done that in 10 years. Guys, I'll tell you this. I don't know if my father is comfortable with me sharing this story, but I will just say this. Tomorrow is not promised. And I'll speak for myself. Tomorrow is not promised. Right? We always say there are things on our mind that we're like, we'll tell our friend this tomorrow. Oh, we'll tell our friend this. Oh, we'll get that story then. Tomorrow's not promised, people. Tomorrow's not promised. At any point, life can be taken away. Take advantage of the right friggin' now. Right now. And that's it. When I was looking at this trip, obviously I wanted to do it for all the reasons I said. And then, of course, for everyone, we're like, financially, it's this. With all due respect, and you do, obviously there are levels to this, but F the money. You're not going to the grave with the money. I'm not saying light it all on fire and screw your family. I'm not saying that at all. But if things are close and you say, you know what, I can make it up later, that's what I'll do. Yesterday, I'm going to be honest, for the first time in forever, I didn't write a single Jets article yesterday during our concert day. I just tried to maximize and spend as much time with my dad as possible. I'll tell you another story. Back in the day, I used to cover Syracuse sports for InsideTheLoudHouse.com. And back in those days, you had a quota. Like, you have to write at least 50 articles a month or you make nothing. If I wrote 49 articles, I got zero money. Zip and pip, nada. So there was a lot of pressure for me to go, geez, I got to do whatever I can to make a lot of scratch. So me and my dad spent time in a hotel room when we were supposed to be hanging out, banging out articles. He was writing articles on his computer. I was writing articles on my computer to catch up to the quota we had to make so I would make any money whatsoever. And looking back on that, I hate that. I wasted that time with my dad. While some of it's cool because it's sports, spend time with your dads, with your friends, with your family, man. Spend time. So luckless pedestrian, golf with your son. Enjoy the bleep out of that, man. Everyone's got their own, cool stuff that they do. I went mini golfing with my dad yesterday. I love going mini golfing. Now, he will happily point out that he beat my ass twice. I would then respond saying I beat him 5-1 in air hockey in the arcade, and then also beat him with a basketball shooting jump shots. That stroke, though. Okay? I beat him like a redheaded stepchild. I think I mixed those. A redheaded stepchild or a rented mule. Either way, you understand the point. I beat him so bad I can't even get my words straight, as I would like to point out. But it's just amazing. Shout out to the fathers. Shout out to the fathers out there in the universe. So love you guys. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you kindly. I was trying to skip up to see if I lost anything there, but, it's amazing. And Scotty here, manifestation is a thing. And I said it as going back to this Bret Michaels thing, like I wanted to do it, then it couldn't happen, and all these roadblocks hit, and I just willed it into existence. I just wished and prayed and said, please, come on, can something with the gods fall upon us and get lucky? Now, normally gods have much more important things to figure out than scoring meet and greet tickets at a concert, but I was just trying to do everything I could. So amazing. So yes. Jets Worldwide says, "Can you rent a redheaded stepchild?" I'm not sure, but you know, I'm an idiot, so you know, maybe it's possible out in the universe. And shout out to my pop who's doing some crazy traveling right now to try to. I drove him to the airport, and hopefully he makes all his flights he's supposed to go on. So fingers crossed there. Shout out to the 200 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Again, if you watch after the fact, please share some Father's Day stories in the comment section. I would love to hear them and would love to respond to them because, again, this is one of the coolest things of my life. I keep looking at this picture saying, is this photoshopped? Is this edited? Is this made up? Me and my dad somehow met Bret Michaels last night after his kick-ass concert, which had Quiet Riot and Night Ranger, and it was a moment I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life. Tomorrow's not promised, people. I will reinstill that message. And I love this from Luckless Pedestrian saying, "You're an idiot?" Oh, I don't see you at the meetings. I got to start going to them more frequently because I have plenty of things to confess to the rest of the room. Hey, everybody, I'm Paul, and I'm an idiot. Hi, Paul. And then I can spill my guts. I'll see you at the next meeting, Luckless Pedestrian. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to take a HEP timeout. We're going to open up the phone lines. And like I said, hopefully we can hear some Father's Day stories from you guys or whatever else you potentially have on this very unique and special Boy Green Daily. Again, another massive, special, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's amazing. It's amazing. HEP timeout. More coming up here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green. Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, baby. Normally a daily video show talking all things New York Jets, but today there's been very minimal Jets talk here on the program, talking about some cool Father's Day story for me with the Bret Michaels story, and also you guys continue to share yours. Scotty Mayhem saying, going to breakfast with my two boys, and I'm so geeked, even more vicariously living through this story. Thanks, Scotty, for saying that, and hopefully a lot of you can. And vibe with the story and think it's cool or whatever. Like I said, it's just a special moment I'm going to have with my dad for the rest of my life. So I hope you guys can share some of those same moments. So we got a lot of people who want to call in, which is amazing. Again, you could share a Father's Day story. If you get another story to share, that's all gravy, baby. So feel free here as we're on the show. Hep joins us next. What's up, Hep?
Hi, Paul. Hey, fellas. Quick stories.
Yeah.
First is, I had called in last September, and I said to you and your pop, I said, I think I'm going up to see my dad for the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. I was this is my first Father's Day without my dad. So
Man.
that's to your point. This is what you have to do. 10 years is too long. And I know father-son relationships can be weird sometimes with power play and this and that and the other thing. But that's been going on forever, man. Put it aside. Let's evolve. Let's get our knuckles off the ground and become like, tell people you love them. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Let's get it together. Okay, on the other side, less bummer over that, I guess. Well, not bummer. I don't know.
No. I understand, and I appreciate you sharing that, Hep. Yeah.
But anyway, story. When I was a kid, I was growing up. There was a kid. I was about 15 or so. This was like the 70s, like 70s, like Son of Sam time.
Yeah.
I lived in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and there was this kid who he was a mama's boy. He lived in this, and the kid, his mother bought him everything. He had like a BC Rich guitar and a Marshall stack, and all he did was play. And he had long hair and stuff, but he definitely didn't fit in. He was a little oddball. He didn't party. He didn't smoke weed, which was kind of like, in those days, it was like you were square. But so anyway, I jammed with him because I played bass at the time, and so there wasn't a lot of bass players, so I was always in demand.
Yeah.
So we were like 15, and there's a block party on my block. So I go to that's the first gig I ever did, and I'm doing the gig and I'm playing, and that kid who I played with, his name is Bruce Johansson. But later on, he joined a band called Poison as the name CC DeVille.
Oh my God, that is insane, Hep. Cece.
Isn't that
Oh,
crazy, man?
oh my
I didn't
God.
realize, I forgot because I'm not really a metal guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I knew I could appreciate anybody in the business and what they do. But I was never really a metal guy. So, but when you said Bret Michaels, I said, it sounded familiar. And then I said, holy shit, that's Bruce Johansson's band. And then I was like,
100%.
and he was so straight and narrow. I mean, he was such, he was really focused. But then he turned into a total party hound and
Yeah,
a
I was
crazy
about to say,
man.
well, that flipped at some point. I don't know when, but that flipped.
All
Oh
right.
my
I just
God.
wanted to do that. I know there's a lot of people wanting to tell stories, but I wanted to just jump on quick and say that.
Hep. Thank you. That is wow. Cece from Poison. That is insane. Wow, what a cool story. And hey, maybe I'm going to see Hep at the next concert. Cece's got to hook up Hep after all those years. That is insane. And again, going back to that first story that Hep told, I will tell you that normally I portray myself. I believe. I don't know if maybe I have shitty awareness, but I try to be a very laid back guy. Like where the callers are going crazy, I try to understand all the points and sort of try to take it all in. And I just try to be, I have passion and energy and stuff like that, but try to be, sort of mellow. But I could get into fights with people. Like I've gotten into fights with my dad. I've gotten into fights with who hasn't right out there in the universe. And sometimes when I'm in the anger of being in a fight, like I'll like walk out and not care and just like I'm a stubborn mule and like you know and it'll be hard to get over stuff. But it just goes back to what Hep was just talking about. That like at some point like what if I got in a fight with somebody and then that's the last time you see him? And then that's just a fight. And then whatever that stupid fight was, that's the last part of how you remember him. Well, that's silly. So, like, we just need to I'm not saying you can't have fights or you can't do anything. Obviously, all of those things can happen and, quite frankly, will happen. We can't just live this perfect life where there's no arguments or no nothing. But that hopefully is always there at the end of the rainbow that you don't let a grudge hold and you're not talking to someone for years. Unfortunately, I hear all those kind of stories around New York of just people like I know a lot of friends that are not close with their dad and they haven't talked to him like 10, 15 years. That's crazy to me. It's like my dad's like my best friend. And he's a person I confide in. He's a person when I'm making business decisions of doing this, that, or the other, of trying to get over it and go through stuff like that. I confide in him on all kinds of things when I'm making radio decisions, digital decisions. He's like the first person I call. So I hope we can all get over those fights. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nate saying it's true. I love you, June. Come back. Ah, yes, June the GM. Look at that. They're breaking bread. Perhaps June, you're always welcome back, my friend. And I'm sure that obviously Nate means that from the bottom of his heart. So June, wherever you are, I don't know if you're doing your own content right now because I haven't been looking around the YouTube space. But June, if you're out there in the universe, come on home, buddy. Again, this is how I feel about cars. There's lines, of course, that we shouldn't cross. But we're all family here, and we can argue. We can fight. Like yesterday, Indy Jets. Who else was it? Ted. Indy and Ted came on with my pop, and they had a very respectful, civil debate, and they were all on these sides, and then they presented their facts. Then okay, they were here, we're here, but it all worked out. We didn't slit each other's throat. We didn't say, screw your mama. We had a conversation, a passionate debate, an argument, whatever you want to call it. So I hope that we can all have those on this show. As much as I appreciate when you don't call and say, Paul, you're handsome. I'm like, stop it. I know. No, go on, please. Keep calling me all these wonderful things. While that's all wonderful, I like it when we can have conversations. And when people are on opposite sides of the table, that's how you can have real conversations instead of just being yes men. Where I go, Braylon Allen's going to break out this year. And everyone goes, Paul, you're a genius. That makes all the sense in the world. Someone's going to call in and call me an idiot and say, hey, man, first off, you weren't at the meeting last week. And number two, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We can all have opinions, conversations, and hopefully that can happen. So June and anyone else out there that sort of rotates in our universe and comes on or off the show and calls in and things of that nature, hey, the doors are open. With that being said, let's go to the phone lines because we have one of the fighters from yesterday's prize fight on the show. It's Indy Jets here on the show. Oh, look at what has arrived in the mail. Wait, let's give that a.
There we go. Look at this, and hey, thanks, Scotty, again. It couldn't look any better than what it does right now.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. You got the gun show out, which is the proper way to wear a jersey, by the way. People are going these shirts under basketball jerseys. What the hell are we doing, for God's sake? So look
Yeah,
at that. Beautiful.
BG, I love the story that you're taking your dad and you go to an '80s hairband
Yes.
icon, and that was great. And so I've got one for you with my
Oh,
father.
please. Yes, sir. Yes.
My dad was a mechanic, and he had his own shop. My grandfather and my dad had their own shop for from the '60s and the '70s through the '80s. And anyway, this was in the '90s at this time, and I had my dad and I built a 4-car garage at his house so we could restore old cars and so forth. So
Mhm.
that was kind of his. He had mechanics, and he did work on friends' cars too at home and whatever. And one day I happened to stop by there, and as he had called me, he'd said that uh, a, a big tour bus had broke down along the highway, and he had just stopped, worked on it, didn't charge the guy anything,
Mhm.
and got the band up and running,
Yeah.
or got the tour bus up and running.
Sure. Yeah.
And so he said, "Hey, I need you to come down to the house today." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." So I drive down. I drive down there. Here's 2 tour buses sitting in his driveway,
No
and
way.
all the garage doors were open. And inside the garage, they all brought their chairs out. Was Travis Tritt and his band, and they're all just sitting there having a beer, playing a little music, just talking. Dad's talking to him about cars. It was one of Travis Tritt's tour buses that broke down, and they were
Wow.
coming back through. And decided, and they had called my dad and just said, "Hey, we're coming back through. We wanted to thank you. Stop by." And so I come pulling in, and here's 2 tour buses, and there's Travis Tritt and his whole group sitting in my dad's garage. And my
Wow.
dad is just, and he was a huge country fan.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
loved country music. And here he's got one of the guys that he just listens to every day, and all, sitting in his garage. And I've got some pictures somewhere there. I'd have to dig them up, but
Yeah,
of
yeah. Please do. Yeah.
them all sitting around just like just like they were neighbors.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It
So
shows you're
yeah,
doing a nice thing, right? Because your dad didn't do that because he knew they were coming back to his mechanic shop. He just did that in the kindness of his heart, and then the world gave it back to him, for lack of a better word,
right, right, right. He didn't, and I guess at the time, he didn't know that was when he stopped that it was a
Right.
Travis Tritt's bus. It was just a bus,
A
and
bus. Right.
and he stopped to say, "Hey, is there anything I can help you with?" And that story went on, but yeah, that so then next thing you know, they're at the garage just doing a little jam and talking cars and having a couple of beers
You must have shit a
with
brick.
Travis
Like, what
Tritt.
the hell is going on here? Like, oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah, and to see your father, at certain points in your life, just little things like that uh, give them, an overload of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them feel young again. And things like that. I don't know, but that is a great moment that I've always had. I agree with you, BG. Life is very short, and tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that, but I lost a wife and daughter in 2018 in a car wreck, a mother in 21, and I fought my father in 22. And you can't guarantee tomorrow. So all you can build is memories and smiles, and even the fights sometimes
Mm-hmm.
can be good memories.
Sure.
So, just like this BG family that we've got here, or
Yes.
whether it's on Jake, and we all sit here and knock on Alon, or however you say his damn
I
name.
don't know. I don't know.
And then based on just goofy opinions that we have for each other. But
Mm-hmm.
there's not a one of them in here that I wouldn't pray for. If something happened with Alan's family, we were talking the other day. I think Alan was talking about his sister that was still in Israel,
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines. And it's like, absolutely, I feel for them. We send our prayers out. We think of them. Even like I said, the things that we talk about here are so minuscule,
Right.
and I'm not trying to knock on your show at any
No, no,
means, but
and I agree.
in,
And I
in
just
the
want to say
world of
I
life,
agree. Right. Yes. And Indy, I just want to say, like, it's not a downer thing. Obviously, it's a very sad thing that you just shared, but I appreciate you sharing it, and I can't even imagine. And so we're all thinking about you, man. I know it was a few years ago. That doesn't make any difference. That's a just a devastating, sad
but
thing, and it reinstills that message that Hep was talking about with his dad and his final time. Some people don't know
yep,
when that final time is, so treat every time like it's the last. And that's a quote my mother used to have in a different part of New York that we lived. She had that on the wall in the room that we all ate in. It was this quote on a wall, and just like basically live every day like it's your last. And like I saw that
yeah,
and
and
never really let it marinate, and now just obviously as years have gone by, it just hits more and more home.
yeah, and it's great that every Saturday morning you have Hop on Pop. He shows up no matter where he's at in the world.
Yeah.
He's going to make some time for you, and
Mm-hmm.
every time I hear somebody in the real world use the word moron, Pops is the first guy that I
It's patented now. It's
really,
trademark.
and
Yeah.
it makes me laugh. And so even your father, and
Yeah.
your dad and I are about the same age roughly,
Mhm.
but even your father has created a certain
That's
memory,
hilarious.
just using the word when I hear somebody use the word moron, I'm like, oh, that's BG's dad right there. So yeah, thank him for me. Even
Yes.
it's sometimes you can create a memory and not with your whether it's your family, your friends, or
Yeah.
anybody without even knowing it. So
Right.
big ups to Pops. Keep doing what you do, BG. We're going to be here every day until we can't.
That's it.
So,
I
hey,
love it.
happy Father's Day and God bless everybody, buddy.
Same to you, brother. Same to you. Happy Father's Day, pal, and same to Hep and everybody that's come on the show so far, and many more calls to come. Again, we'll get to all those here. Shout out to K Brock here, sending in a super chat shout out.
Wow.
K Brock has been a member for 9 months. Happy Father's Day, my first one today. Jet up. Oh, man, that's so cool. There's nothing like the first one, K Brock. And shout out to you. You're going to be there at our Jets Cowboys tailgate. Again, another massive shout out to our guy, J Boy, for hooking all that up for the Jets Cowboys tailgate. Radical, man. I've got 2 children. The first one is it's I just had a friend at the radio station. He's another on-air radio personality, and he was set to have his first child. The pregnancy and birth and everything went great, so it was great. But he was asking me like for advice, like leading into the father. We all do that to each other. Like if you've never been a dad before, and he's like, "Hey, man, like what's the advice?" Well, I said there's 2 things here. Well, first off, just savor it, man. You're going to know what I mean when I say it. I say it now, and maybe it's not going to hit, but savor every freaking moment, man. It just goes by so fast. Can't stop it. My daughter, I was calling her on the FaceTime while I was here in the, around the concert time, and Zariah Luna, and all of a sudden she's saying words, real words. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. And, I used to, when they were a baby, you go, goo, goo, gaga. You're like, ah, geez, baby, come on, let's get some words together. Then they're getting words together. I'm like, okay, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Beep, beep. Let's go back to goo, goo, gaga, please. You don't know it till it's there. So, K Brock, happy Father's Day, brother. First one up. I hope you enjoy the heck out of it, man. And it's special. And the other thing I would say to the radio guy that was asking for advice, I said, there's no words that are going to explain when you see your child for the first time and you're in the hospital, wherever the hell you are, and you get that child for the first time. You're going to understand what me. I said this, so I've applied to get on the show Survivor a bunch of times on CBS, the CBS reality show. And I remember all my first auditions. I'm the man. I want to win it for me because I'm the best and I'm the strongest, and get me on because I'm the man. And then when I had a child, I found out what real drive was. I thought there's nothing that's going to drive me more than me. I want to be the handsomest, strongest, best, whatever thing I want to be when I was younger. And then when I got a kid, I'm like, holy crap, that is what drives me every day to go to work, to do that for those children, to put a roof over their head, to give them food. And like that drive is like a different drive. And so like it's impossible to explain in words to somebody. But that was the other advice and love and everything I gave for that story too. So, like I said, it's insane. All right, let's keep going on the phone lines. Again, this is a special Boyd Green Daily Father's Day edition here. We're going through all these stories, and let's go to another one here. We've got the legendary Phil Yum, FL Phil 98 here on the show. What's up?
Good morning, Paul, and I really appreciate you putting me on. Obviously,
Sure.
Father's Day is special for every one of us that have kids, and there's no expressing the love. And everybody's got probably a great story. As you know, I write one of my
Yes.
things. I try to, especially when something major happens.
Mhm.
So I got a little something I'd like to read.
Oh, please. Yes.
So this is when my daughter went to college, and along the line of some of the things you've been talking about is, how time passes so quickly. And I do the same thing. If I'm in a food store and I see a kid that wants to be picked up and the parents trying to ignore him, I'm like, pick that kid up,
1,000%.
because someday you won't be able to.
Mhm.
So when I dropped her off at her dorm room, I wrote this mentally on the way home, and then I
Yeah.
put it on paper. I didn't want to leave her, but I knew I couldn't stay. I smothered her with one last hug and slowly turned away. Now I'm driving south, feeling down in the mouth, because the best part of life is behind me now. Growing older makes you think about your younger days, your first love, your children's birth, and all the plans you made. Memories of summer days playing in the pool, coaching her at T-ball, or just driving home from school. We shared New York City, the Jersey Shore, Disney World, and so much more. She preferred the theater to playing with a toy, and when I watched her on the stage, my heart was filled with joy. We saw every show that we could see, including Patti LuPone in Company. Now she's headed down a road she's chosen on her own, and face to face is soon replaced with talking on the phone.
Mhm.
Now I'm driving south, feeling down in the mouth, because the best part of life is behind me now. I know that she'll still need me, and I know that we'll share more. She'll always be my little girl, but it can't be like before. So I'm driving south, feeling down in the mouth. Please forgive me being blue. It's just something fathers do. When tears fill their eyes and they're forced to recognize that the best part of life is behind them now.
Oh, Phil, uh, so many people are saying the same thing in the comment section. You just, we all are given gifts, and some people don't know what their gifts are. God knew what gift He was giving you, William. You have the gift of writing. You have the gift of expressing yourself in such a way that draws emotion. People are asking who's cutting onions. People are crying in the comment section as you're going through that. Just hit me home and home and home because Philium, you did just write that you just shared, and it was beautiful. But quite frankly, you've written the book. My daughter is 3.5. The book you just wrote is a book I'm reading, and I didn't even know I was reading it. And I'm going through these chapters. And eventually, I know that chapter is coming up, and I will try to delay reading that chapter. I'm going to put the book down. I'm going to hope not to read it, try to live in the moment of whatever chapter I'm currently in as it's being written. But that was beautiful, Philium, and touching, heart wrenching, everything, every emotion I just went through there. And oh, God. Thank you for sharing it. Oh, wow.
Thank you for allowing me to do so. I wrote that 12 years ago. My daughter's about your age. And
Mhm.
you know where she is today?
Where's that?
She's in Maine. She's graduating this year with her master's.
Wow.
Um, and Yeah. So
Congratulations,
thank you.
Philium. I mean, obviously, you're a kick-ass dad, and that's what Father's Day is all about: is celebrating the dads and our special relationships with our own fathers and our children and everything in between. Obviously, getting a master's degree. I know where she was getting some of those genes, Philium, with everything that you bring to the table, man. So, way to be an awesome dad, and that obviously she's doing great stuff because of the a great relationship and great father that you've been, man. So congratulations and thank you for being with. And that's a big part too. Is that I talk about people who have talents and skills and they do whatever. Maybe it's writing or reading or this that being a doctor, whatever may have you. But on top of doing the ability, there's people like singers, right? I know a lot of really good singers in my life that sing in the shower, and that's where they're always going to sing, and they're never going to sing beyond that. They don't have to sing beyond that if they don't want to. You have this beautiful gift of writing. You could write in that you have like a mini bookshelf back there with photos, everything, and you could write everything you just said and put it in a notebook. You read it, close the notebook, you can put it back there. You don't have to share it. You're choosing to share it. And I just want to make sure that you know that you sharing this is having a tremendous impact on people that are live here the show, but there's other people that listen to the show or watch the show later. And if it's moving this many people now, I know it's going to be moving so many people later. So I want to start off with a thank you for being willing to share that because I think that rings home for so many of us.
Thank you, Paul, and I appreciate the opportunity to share. I've shared a few things on here before. I'd never shared anything publicly before, so I appreciate the opportunity to do that.
Thank you so much, Philium. All right, let's put him in the running for Father of the Year, baby. Yeah, he's up there. Wow. Ah, jeez. First off, whatever poor sucker of a caller has to follow that, good the hell luck. And number two, wow, Philium the poet. Again, that's why. Let's put it up. Let's put it up. We got the Philium. I haven't shown this emoji in a while. I got to do a scrolling up. There he is, the great philosopher, FL Phil 98, baby. Look at that. That's one of the greatest emojis, quite frankly, Snowball's ever made. I mean, look at he's captured the essence of Philium. And I imagine that's when he wrote that poem. He was holding a skull and sort of examining it and noticing its intricate details as he was pouring into it. I mean, beautiful. Wow, what a very moving. Oh God, good Lord, man. I don't know how I'm gonna move forward with that, but we must trudge along here on this show. That was absolutely moving. EZ with the super chat.
Wow.
Easy says, don't just live the moments, absorb the moments. And that's a good thing. And that's what, for me, as I continue to go back to my story with my father yesterday, I just tried to stay in the moment. I'm like, when we were waiting, the concert ends, and we're just waiting. We're waiting to meet Bret Michaels. I'm like, holy freaking crap, Dad, this is insane. We're about to do this. You are the only reason I even listen to Bret Michaels. It's because you listening, bopping to it in the car in the 90s. That's the only reason I'm here right now. And look at this full circle. Absorb the moment, leave the moment, make your moment, create your moment. It's such an important piece to the puzzle. And easy, I will add this to your previous totals here on the program at some point. So I'll put that on my sheet. I know you've gifted at another point this month. I'll just put it down and I will find it later. I'll update all the banners in that. I just want to get to as many callers as possible. So easy, powerful words, and thank you so much for sharing. Damn, that was touching. All right, let's try to see who can follow that up. Scotty Mayhem, the latest member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, gets that honor. What's up, Scotty?
EG, you are the maestro. I have to say that all of your callers have different aspects of your amazing positivity, and just you sharing that story with all of us was so amazing. I mean, I will remember that for the rest of my life. I'm so
Thank you for saying that.
proud to be a participant in your amazing nation.
Nope. Oh boy. While we're waiting for Scotty and whatever just happened to his phone, that's a very good point. Indy's like, BG, how many people have you been in the shower singing with? Yeah, that was a very weird example to use. I'm going to be honest. It was very bizarre. It was more so, I was thinking of the movie Elf, where whatever her name is from New Girl was in the shower singing. I don't normally just peruse in people's bathrooms and say, "Oh, you should really get on stage. What are you doing in my house?" That's normally not happening. So, Andy, thank you for pointing that out. And I am a freak on top of being an idiot. So, yes, that was very strange, and I appreciate you pointing that out. That was very odd. I'm not sure. All right. It looks like Scotty's going through some technical difficulties. We'll get back to him. Let's go to Ted, who's next. Oh, is that a speedboat? What do we got going on over there? Oh, hey, Ted, NY Jets FL. What's up?
Oh, good morning. I didn't put crying on the bucket list this morning. So,
Oh, God. Oh, my God. These stories have been moving, man. It's, wow.
especially after, you have a 17-year-old daughter and, she's going to college soon. So,
Yeah, right. That hits a little closer to home for you, you too, I'm sure, my friend.
yeah. So, great story. Very touching. The, I have a concert and a father story.
Oh, give them to me,
Daughter.
please.
So there's a Christmas concert that comes around called Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's like
Mhm.
Christmas rock. It's an amazing show if you ever
Oh,
get a
okay.
chance to
I've never seen it. I'll have to put that on the list. Excellent.
Paul, it's ridiculous, seriously, how good they are. So
Mhm.
we take my daughter at 7. She knows nothing about rock, nothing about music. We're like in the
Okay.
8th row. There's like fire and pyrotechnics and
Oh,
everything.
Jesus.
So after the show, we're kind of like standing around, and the usher kind of says, "Hey, come over here." Like, yeah, what's up? And he's like,
Yeah.
the guy who created the show wants to meet your daughter. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So he comes around and he's got, brochure, well, not brochures, like calendars and things. He's got a pen and he
Uh-huh.
signed,
Cool,
and he's
cool.
talking to her, and he's like, uh, this and that. He he reaches in his pocket and he takes $300 bills out, and he goes, "I want you to." I'm gonna cry now. Sorry.
No, please, please.
Says, I want you to put this to your daughter for her guitar, because a lot of young kids don't want to play guitar anymore. So sorry guys.
No,
And,
please.
it's like sort of a situation where you just kind of like blown away.
Mhm.
So every year we go back and we kind of do the same thing. He ended up dying in 2021, I think. He died in his 50s, I think.
Mhm.
So we go back every year. It's just a memory we create, and she developed her love for rock music from there. So kind of manifested into that's an obsession. That's a separate obsession. It manifested into going to see Journey, Def Leppard and Foreigner,
Oh.
all concerts. So um, the wheels were set in motion by that experience. So I just wanted to convey that. Yeah. Sorry, Philium kind of set me off on a path today.
No,
So
no, that's beautiful. Oh my God. That and it goes to show you this, which is so cool that he didn't have to do that. He said for him, and I don't know how that moment sat with that man, like deciding to do it and then to share
exactly,
it. But he said, you know what? I'm going to take a moment out of my day to do this. And that it can have the ripple effect that obviously it had on your daughter is like the most coolest thing of all time. Because, and I was sort of saying this with, I don't know if I said this on the show today with Brett, like the way the people, so we don't meet Brett till obviously the photo's about to happen, but there's all these staff and they're like, hey, they're not being rude, but they're just being sort of strict, like, hey, just move it along. Okay. Like do your thing and move. Like, don't try to dilly dally is basically what they were saying. And Brett must realize, I don't know if he does this for everybody, I assume, he's like, me taking whatever time out of my day is going to make these people's lives like that. He almost realized that me and my dad were going to have this moment forever. And so he just tried to make it extra special. And we didn't get to stick around for the rest of the people that are doing it. So I have no idea if he continued to do that, but that these people don't realize that they have these power and an ability to influence and have these moments. That is an amazing story that you just shared, Ted. Wow.
yeah. So yeah, you're right about that. The experience that some people give when they got the power to do that is very, very powerful. So I'll let you go. So I appreciate Phil's call. I appreciate your show. So you'll have a nice day.
We love you, Ted. We
Love
love
you
you,
too.
Ted. Thank you so much, brother. Oh, God darn it, man. You guys are getting me, man. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Salute to everybody so far that's been willing to share. This is, I'll be honest, when I decided to, ugh, when I decided, like, so sometimes, especially in a case like this, where obviously I'm not doing Jets work last night, I was spending time with my dad. I was doing a concert, and Rich Samini comes out with a column every Sunday morning that normally has Jets notes in it that could be turned into a show. But after last night, I just said, I know people subscribe to this channel, and I've built this very nice following because people love the Jets and they apparently like the way that I talk about it. But this just felt, it would feel weird to do this show and just say, hey, the training camp battle between the left guard and the right guard is this. I just feel like sometimes, and I appreciate so what I'm trying to express, I didn't know how you guys were going to respond to this doing the show in this way. And I know there's going to be some people that said, boo, skip, because they came for Jets content. And for those people, I understand. I'm not doing what I apparently, quote unquote, signed up to do. But I've been incredibly moved by your guys' response and your guys' stories and Father's Day and all this. It's been super cool, man. I didn't know how you guys were going to respond to this. And if I would have known I needed a box of tissues, apparently, as for Lily indicated, that I would have been grabbing those for this show because I am crying as I'm doing this show and all in my feels about it. So, oh God, you guys have had so many, Indy and Ted and Philium and everybody. So Scotty, I just will try to get Scotty back as well. But damn, man. Oh God! Wow. Okay, let's keep the train rolling. EZ joins us now on the show. What's up, brother?
Hey, great show, great show. Life is life. Football is football, and life is more important than football.
Yeah,
at least this time of year it is.
that's
Give it
right.
a couple
That's a
of
good
months.
point. That's funny. My fiance says that all the time. When we were dating, she said, "Hey, what's more important, me or football?" And I went, "Huh." And she went like, "Wait a
What month
second, you
is
had to
it?
think about it?" And I went like, "I'm sorry, it's we're in the middle of a season, honey." But you're right. Like, hey,
Yeah.
June, the month is yours, honey. There's nothing going on. But it is funny that we do think of that. So it's unbelievable.
Now, about 26 years ago, 27 years ago, I was going through a divorce with my wife. And unfortunately, my wife decided that she was going to be one of those ex-wives that wanted to kind of character assassinate me. And I hadn't been talking to two of my kids. Well, my daughter Kara, I haven't talked to since she was 9, and my other son I haven't talked to since he was 15. And they just recently found out through a mutual friend that their mom had been lying to them about all the things that she was saying about me.
Wow.
And it's kind of bittersweet because my daughter and my son have reconnected now with my mom and my sisters and my niece and all that, but she hasn't reconnected with me yet.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's coming though. It's coming. I mean, we haven't really been texting or anything yet, but we will be reconnecting. And then, of course, yesterday, like an idiot, me and my son had an argument, so now we're not talking today. This is my other son that lives down here with me. I got 3.
I obviously, fights have different layers of things, and I won't play therapist here on the show, but I would just say, I hope he or you, however, hopefully he to you, because it's Father's Day, gives you a call and looks past whatever silly or serious argument that you guys had, because again, man, I can walk out of this hotel room after this show and get hit by a bus, and I may never see my kids again. That might happen. I'm not going to purposely try to dive in front of a bus, but if something beyond my control can happen at any moment, and we don't know when's the last time, we have to treat it all the same.
That's true.
As I'm hearing all these stories from everybody else, that's a message that keeps ringing true.
I had a 19-year-old distant cousin. She's walking down the hall in nursing school, going from class to class. collapsed to the ground, was dead before she hit the ground, brain aneurysm. It could happen at any time.
Yes. Yeah.
Anytime.
Mhm.
Healthy 19-year-old girl.
Unbelievable.
You never know. So, as Santa Claus would say, be good for goodness sake.
There you go. And
So-
that's I'm gonna start conflating stories and putting them together. But being good
Well,
for
the good
goodness
thing,
sake is a perfect thing. Is to, not to be good to hopefully get something. Is that you just do wonderful things that comes from. Oh, that was an indie story, right? His dad, the mechanic,
Well,
helps out a tour bus not because he thinks he's going to get buco bucks or get some perk out of it. He did it to be a nice guy, and then life came back around and rewarded him for being a good guy. I just think that's sort of how the universe should work. If we all put that energy out to the universe, I think it all returns.
not to be political, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
be political,
Sure.
but maybe if all the people, and I mean all the people in Washington, D.C., would just sit back one day and say, just be good for goodness sake. Just be good. Maybe
Good
this
message.
country wouldn't be in the turmoil that it's in now. Just stop being selfish and just look around you, look at what you have, appreciate what you have, and pay it forward.
By the way, Floor Lily just shared a message to you, EC. He says there's a great line in a movie. You don't need your daughter's permission to love her.
No, you don't. And I'm actually going to my niece's. My niece had a little girl, and her first birthday is in August, I think. And I'm going to be
Okay.
going up there in August.
Awesome.
And since she is reconnected with my with my daughter is most likely going to be at that party. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, awesome, man! I hope
I
you
don't
have.
I
You
don't
guys
I
have
don't
a
see
great
her
time.
canceling out just. I don't see her canceling out just because of me, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And if
right.
she
right.
does, you know, she does. But I'm going up, so. But I'm hoping that the whole family gets back together. That, of course, except for the ex.
Yeah. Right. That's probably for the best. Yep.
But she had her 26 years. Now it's my turn to have my family back. So you never know. And I've always tried to be good, and I always try to be as helpful as I can. I'm never going to stop being as weird as I am because that's part of who I am. And
Yeah.
I don't think you guys would like me less weird.
Hey,
I think
to
you like
me,
me just the way I am.
Someone said it earlier. Well, it was you. I was about to quote you to you. That would have been crazy. About a wise man once said about embracing the moments. It's embracing the people. I want people to be who they are.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to easy, whatever that is at the tailgate, and I'm looking forward to that unique and awesome experience of meeting you for the first time, and everybody else for that matters. We're all meeting each other for the first time, and shout out, we're going to have
It's gonna
someone
be great.
filming all that, which will be cool.
It's going to be like a family reunion.
Yeah.
It's like seeing all the distant cousins. We're all
Right.
just converging on MetLife
Yeah. Yeah.
under a common flag.
Yeah, right.
Jet
It's going to
family.
be crazy because, right, like 3 siblings, Terrence, all these people, I just see a little avatar and then their name. And then sometimes they call in, of course, but it's nothing like meeting someone in person to person. You're like, whoa, this is a person I've been talking to for years or months or whatever. And then boom, this is the first time I'm meeting them. It's just going to be a surreal experience. I had a taste of that last year doing the tailgate with Nick Shine. I mean, it's just going to be an incredible experience.
I have one quick question for you.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Growing
Yeah,
up in a military family,
yes, sir.
is that what inspired you, even though you didn't join up, to do the Taekwondo? Or was it because you were a little guy in school? Or a combination of both?
Definitely a combination of both, for sure. My father has always been a guy that, you have to learn how to defend yourself. And as a guy that was smaller in nature, I just somehow it came out. Oh, it was the Oswego football thing. My teammate, and that'll be up on YouTube, and I'll share that over here for anyone that wants to hear any of that. But I had a teammate on the show who's now the head coach of the football program. We went full circle. We played college football and came back, and he was telling
I think you
stories on
mentioned that the other
radio.
day.
Yeah,
Wasn't
right.
he a
And my
receiver?
radio partner
Receiver friend of
wanted.
yours? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and my radio partner wanted him to tell stories about me to him. Like, he thought he was going to tell like embarrassing stories and stuff. And one of the stories he told was like at the end of one of our seasons, they were trying to get me in the end zone for this special moment with the crowd. We were at home, and they ran the extended 148 sweep. That was the play call, and they ran it over and over and over again. It kept getting closer and closer. One time they thought I was in. The refs conferred, said, "Oh, was he in the end zone?" No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was short of the goal line. And then they ran it one more time. It got over, and then boom, the crowd goes crazy and goes into it. And he was just talking about some of these stories of sort of all coming together here. And in the paper the next day, they wrote in the article my height and weight, which was 5'2" and 120 pounds. So I was like nothing. And now I'm
true
fatter and
Rudy
much.
story.
Exactly, right?
Rudy,
I'm much fatter
Rudy.
now. I'm 120 pounds, and then they say, "Put the other foot on the scale, fatty," and I'm like, "Oh, sorry," and then that's what it is. So, no, it is that Rudy story. It's cool, but when I was at size, right? So my father said, "You got to find out how to defend yourself." So we first got into Tang Sudo, which is the art of the fist, and then we moved up to New York 17 years ago, and that's where Taekwondo was. And I said, "Oh, this is my chance to get into something different." It just happened to be what was in town, and I've been a near 4th-degree black belt now because of all that. So yes, the military thing of defending yourself and then also being small was all sort of intertwined.
So you went from the small kid on the football team to Taekwondo master.
That's it. Yeah. And winning medals and trophies and championships. And that improved my confidence because I was doing it at the same time. I was doing high school football and Taekwondo at the same time. So it just improved my confidence. And obviously that translated ultimately to the year where I'm a confident person. But yeah, it took time and all those other things. But definitely the military thing, which again, these are all you think about decisions that happen and the ripple effects that happen. We moved up to New York in 2008. If we did not move up to New York in 2008, I'm in the Army and we're never doing Boy Green Daily. So I was in JRTC. I was a sergeant, JRTC. My path was written in the stars. I was going into the Army. I was going through my levels. I was getting ready, going to go to basic training. Everything that was going to come was all written. My dad gets a new job. I leave. There's no JRTC in New York. Boom. I changed my entire career in life. So it just goes to show you that the things are the difference, and who knows where I would have been or would have been doing.
Well, my football in high school was kind of tragic. I wasn't very good. I was JV, and they used to wait until I got to the puddle to tackle me. So, yeah. But when we played Bull in the Ring, I think that you were mentioning that what is it, the Oklahoma drill?
Oh yeah, Oklahoma. It's mano a mano. Line them up. Yeah.
Right. Everyone's in a circle around you, and you run around in a circle, and then all of a sudden you just go wham. You run and I would always run at the biggest dudes. Before.
Yeah.
I would always run at the biggest dudes because that was the only way. So I had to run at a guy who wound up playing tight end for West Virginia.
Wow. That's impressive.
Not a good move for me.
Maybe not.
Well, I ran into him, and then I leapt off my feet and went sideways so that my shoulder and hip hit him right in the middle. And then he just kind of caught me and threw me straight down. It was funny as shit. But at least I didn't run at weak guys, because these two weak guys, they used to run at each other at Bull in the Ring. And finally the coach made them stop doing that.
Yeah, well, that's oh my God,
really,
I
mean, we live our lives and we only have one life. Life is not a dress rehearsal, so try to do the best shit you can. That's all I say. I'm a proud grandfather now. My grandson just turned 2. I sent him a gift.
Awesome, congratulations!
So, I sent my daughter a birthday card with a gift, and she told my son to tell me thank you. So it's starting. It's starting. I mean, when you've been traumatized and told one thing for 27 years, it's really hard to get that out of your head.
Which is very fair. Easy, thanks for sharing your stories, man. I appreciate it, brother. And again, the tailgate is right around the corner. We got more phone calls to get to. We will. I want to highlight a couple of comments here, if I may. First off, Joe, we're thinking about you, buddy. Member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. This group is great. I miss my late dad so much. My father just lost his father, and I was incredibly close with my grandfather. And it's been, and then my father lost his mother. He lost both of his parents within like a year span, and that was devastating. And we were talking about the other side. Someone called in and said, "There's nothing like seeing your dad." The jubilant, I believe, those Indy Jets, right? The excitement of your dad, like being excited about something, is like crazy. But the other side of it is when your father is going through heartbreak and heartache. It's devastating because you try to console them and do what you can. It's just man, it's hard to describe. So Joe, we're thinking about you, buddy. Obviously, this inevitably happens to all of us in different lights and things of that nature. Where we're life is inevitable. The wheel will spin. But I'm glad that, Joe, there's some of these stories that are being told are resonating with you. So we're thinking about you and your late dad. So happy Father's Day to both he and you for what you bring to the table. Thank you. Flora Lily and Big D, these stories are incredible. Didn't ever think I would need a tissue box near me for a BG show. Well, this show has given laughs, tissues for crying, certainly. We've had funny moments on the show, the making love, sweet, passionate love thing that came out of nowhere, the seriousness of Father's Day, and these stories. The show is me. I lay all my cards out on the table, and you guys either accept it or you don't. And I've appreciated how many have accepted it. And thank you to the 300 people that are currently watching live on the show. Like the video, hit subscribe. Again, if you watch after the fact or if you watch on some other feature, Facebook, Twitter, come over to YouTube and in the comment section, share a story about your dad. Give him a happy Father's Day, please. Share a story that you'd like to share, and I'd love to interact with it. I will be driving after this back home to see my family, but I'm looking forward to reading some of those stories. Let's go to Brian here, Brian Farrell. My wife is divorcing me. First Father's Day, no family. I don't know what to do with myself anymore. And Brian, that's a very sad and devastating thing that's happening to you. And there's no perfect antidote. There's no perfect answer, Brian. But I want to immediately go to Ted here because this is something I was going to share myself. Ted says, Brian, trust me, there are people that you see in here that are silently suffering with you. And thank you for those words, Ted. And that's true. And I go back to Brian's comment here is you never know what someone else is going through. But I'll tell you, you're not alone, man. We all are going through we all in different phases of our life go through very incredible, difficult things. Don't give up. Don't let anything happen. You are loved. You are certainly loved by this community. And I've seen the outpouring of comments to you, Brian. That sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That is a difficult thing that you're going through, but it's not the end thing. I'll tell you this. I'll share a story. I'm going to leave some of the details out, but I'll share the overall message. And I've gone through some very dark times in my life. You see me and I'm this positive guy and positive disposition. And I do believe all the things I say, that if you attack life with verve and positivity that's infectious to other people, you can impact and influence other people with your energy. And Scotty has given me that compliment a lot about my energy being infectious to others. And I hope it is. But I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. And not that I'm sure anyone thought I was, but just to clarify for the people in the back that may have misunderstood that, I'm not. And I've gone through a lot of dark times in my life where I didn't know if there was any other answers and that maybe this was it. And if something happened to me, something happened to me. I'll tell you, I've had those very difficult, dark times in my life. My life is not this perfect book. And luckily, I had people in my life that pulled me out of my funk and said, Paul, you are loved. You're going through some tough shit. There's no question about it. But you're going to make it through this. Live to tomorrow. Live to the next day. Live to the next day. The light returns. In your darkest day, the light is there. Right? The night is darkest until the dawn. You flip the script. So things can be incredibly tough. I love that everyone's supporting in this comment section. I'm supporting you, Brian. We are supporting you. You have a support system, and what you're going through is difficult, but it's not forever. Okay? There's better days ahead. It's a roller coaster ride. There are highs, there are lows. This is a low. The roller coaster is going to go back up. I promise you, my friend. I promise you. I promise you. So this will be a difficult day for you. Father's Day, as you're hearing these Father's Day stories and things about their children and connections and connective tissue, Brian. But we are thinking about you, man. We're thinking about you. So please, hopefully that can hit. And Dave, thank you for the safe travels. Thank you for the safe travels comment. Hopefully I will. Yep. All safe travels. Thank you very much. All right. Again, 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, everybody. Share your stories, please. We go on the move. Nate has made his return. What's up, Nate?
Morning, BG. How's it going? Hey,
I'm riding dirty, bitches. All right.
I think that was.
Chameleonaire.
Yeah,
There you go, baby.
Jake Asman likes to edit my whatever that blurb is, and I don't usually check to edit it. So
no, that's all right.
I'm still riding dirty. Yes. Powerful show this morning for sure.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that.
Me either. Yeah.
I think you might have found your second calling. I think there might need to be like a BG, men's group or something. Sunday morning.
Okay. Yeah, I'll explore that. Yeah, for sure.
Or a remote church kind of men's group thing. I like
there
that.
You go.
I like the way this is going. Ted had an awesome story. I don't know. I've never seen Brian in the chat, but that was, like you said, it's tough to hear. But I hope he continues to chat because in difficult times, as you know best, like community and just some type of distraction can help you. But I was going to tell my my kind of, I guess, more happier dad story, and it was also tough hearing EZ's story about his kids who are, an ex-wife and stuff. I know, like, I always give credit to my dad looking back, because he was raised by kind of like an alcoholic grandfather who, like, all of his brothers and sisters just hated and left at like 17 years old pretty much, or 16, or just like got out the house as soon as they could, and just kind of left my dad to raise the rest of the kids after my grandmother died. And all of those brothers and sisters, rightfully so, I guess, but they chose not to include their father in the rest of their lives. So my grandfather had about 14 or 15 grandkids who he never knew existed, and they're in Alabama or just all over the country.
Right.
But and then when I was born, my dad had already forgiven. My dad had went through like his own struggles with alcoholism and stuff, as my grandfather did. Kind of runs in the family, and in the old Irish family, and he was the one person to forgive my grandfather, who had since sobered up, and he was just like an old war vet that just kind of became a drunk when he got home. But I got to experience my grandfather as like this awesome grandfather that he was. Shout out to Hank, who's now dead now, but I always give credit to my dad for allowing, it just when Easy told me that story, it gave me, like, I hope his ex or someone finds it in their hearts, because those kids need their father figure, whether it's
no doubt
whoever it is. Like, I don't know Easy personally, but
Easy
seems like a nice enough guy where he deserves to have his kids in his life, and his kids deserve to have him in his life. So it's tough to hear those stories today. But shout out to my dad, who I guess took a lot of notes from his upbringing, because my dad, I guess he learned from his childhood, and he made sure like I had everything I ever needed in my life. I'm going to spend the Mets game with him today, as I spent my first
that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's a great Father's Day thing.
It was with my dad. My first ever Mets game was with my dad. I saved up like 4 weeks of allowance, probably like 4. Going to surprise him with Father's Day tickets. It was like, I think it was Mets Cardinals in 2005. Might have been a little bit before Father's Day, but I remember falling in love with like baseball that day. Every sports moment, and like the reason I'm in this show probably is because of my dad too.
That's awesome.
In 2009, I went to the 09-10. He literally, and you can only do this when you have a kid, right? Woke me up on Sunday morning and said, I rented a car. We're going to the Pats-Jets divisional round game in New England.
Yeah.
And I was a senior in high school, and it's still like, I'm only in this show because I'm still craving that high. I'm like a crack addict.
Oh my God!
Like that can never get that first
that
high.
We can't get back. You get.
I'll never get that feeling back. But it's the only reason I'm in all these goddamn podcasts every day for a team that plays 17 days in a year, and the reason why I'm a season ticket holder and all that stuff. So yeah, my dad is, and I look at it now. I guess I run my dad started the basketball program that I run today, so he's even like passed off employment to me almost. But there's a lot of kids I realize that don't, that when they ask their parents for something, the answer is not always yes.
Right.
A lot of the times it's no. And I grew up, and whether it was sports, whether it was a sporting event, whether it was a basketball team I wanted to join, like the answer was always yes. So you know, shout out to my dad. He's 73 years old, still pumping strong, and yeah, try not to think about those kind of ominous thoughts because he's now retired and you know, doing wills and all that stuff. I had to meet him in like Connecticut to do some will stuff, and I'm like, what are we like? You're not. What are you talking about? Like, you're we don't got to do this, right? It's not.
on, man.
This doesn't seem appropriate because this means you would. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing the math here. I'd rather not. But so, yeah. Shout out to my dad Ken, aka Popsicles, and all the stories out there. Everyone who's really vulnerable enough to put their own personal stuff out on the line, and I definitely appreciated that.
Amazing. Nate, thanks, brother. And yeah, you're going to be at the tailgate, right? Huh?
I'll definitely be at the tailgate. Yeah, well, if Chef Kev is cooking, I'm there 100%.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'll work. I have my own ticket, but
yeah,
100%. I'll be there. Because, yeah, last time I met Chef Kev, he cooked up a whole vegan dish only for my girlfriend, who was the only vegan person there.
Wow.
But he was, obviously I'm coming for Chef Kev. That'll be 100%. And all the PG folks. But, yeah, where Chef Kev is cooking, I'm there.
Yeah,
best tailgate food I had ever had. Like hibachi at a tailgate, like it's incredible.
I'll tell you this: no one knows this because, like, I don't know how they would have known it. So me and Chef, so I reach out. We're gonna do the tailgate thing. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, we're gonna need someone to cook food, and then the first, obviously, it's got to be Chef Cat. I have no idea if he even could do it, but in my mind, I'm like, he's got to be the guy. And I reach out to Chef, and I start going like, I gotta be honest, I've never done this before, so I don't really know how this works. Menu construction, what do you do? What works for you? And he was going through stuff like that, and he went like hibachi. I'm like, hibachi? That's an option? I'm like, okay, I got to save that for the future because that sounds amazing. But he's
not playing. He really does. Like I don't think he's done what you've ever done in terms of like he's done a giant tailgate for people. But he's done tailgates, like he's done it like that. When I got there, this man, like at the back of his trunk, had spice racks and the coolers, like little like ladder level things that pull out. Like I was like, yo, how much you charging today? Like it was really professional. For kind of like it was a tailgate amongst friends, but I was like, holy shit, like this guy. I mean, he's a chef, so I was talking to Mike the whole time. I was like, how awesome is your life? That like, does he do this at home every day? She's like, yeah, it's the greatest thing in the world. Like
the people in his life.
Every single meal is just cracked out. So yeah, shout out to Chef, and I wish I could be Chef's wife for a day.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
Actually, we all have that chance, right? For $65, right? You could be Chef's wife. And, enjoy the tailgate. There we go.
That's right. Booyah. Can't wait. That'll be good to vicariously live through her for that one day. That's going to be beautiful. Nate, thanks, brother.
Cheers. I'll talk.
Okay, there you go. Nate joining us on the show. Wow. Awesome story. Cool for him and his dad going to the Mets game. Let's go. That's awesome. I love these stories, guys. MFC, a membership being gifted here. MF Bleep and C. Yes. I get this right for MFC. You have 6 raffle tickets so far this month, my brother. MFC, congratulations to you, my friend. And thank you for spreading the love on this show. Brilliant. That went to Vero Beach, NY Jets. Vero Beach, NY Jets. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Salute to MFC, who gave himself a raffle ticket for a prize pack. Again, we give back to you, the fans, every bleeping month here on the channel. This month, we have a full New York Jets zip-up hoodie, plus the original Jet Zone banner that is the roots of this show and why this show even exists to this day. And you guys will get that piece of history. And it's a cool Just Jets banner you can hang up in your house beyond just the history aspect, which is pretty cool too. Gator McCluskey, who got a Boy Green Coffee Club membership today. Salute. He's been a member for 9 months in totality here on this program. He's giving a super chat shout out here on the program.
Wow.
Happy Father's Day to you and all the dads. Rock on, brother. Horns up. Rock on to all the dads out there. It's the greatest job of all time. It's the greatest job of all time. Indy Jets, he has a super chat coming in. Lego.
Wow.
This show is one of your greatest shows of all time. And Indy, you know the cool thing here is, by the way, you have 3 raffle tickets with your previous super chat combinations. Appreciate you, brother. I told you guys at the beginning. First off, I had no idea the show would be an hour 38 plus because I'm like, am I going to tell this Bret Michaels story? And everyone goes, okay, Paul, shut up and talk Jets. And then is that where the story was going to go? I thought that was completely possible when I started this show. And I was writing the headline and I'm like, I don't want to make it some like Jets mini camp, this or that. And again, I love the Jets. I'm wearing a Jets hat. Bret Michaels saw me at a Jets hat. I'm wearing the Jet, or I'm not right now, but I was wearing a Jets necklace. My fiance got me. That's in the picture of Bret Michaels. That's where is it? Here it is, right here. Boom. Whoop. Look, zoom in on the neck. The Jets necklace there. So, I'm a Jet fan until I die. But it just, like I said, would have felt wrong not to do this show that is organic and alive. And you guys are making this show just like any show. The only reason Boy Green Daily exists is because of you, the fans. And maybe that sounds cliche or like soapboxy or whatever, man. It's the truth. It's the truth. Without the crazy easy stories and everything else that comes on this show, like, come on now. So, Indy, thank you so much for the kind words. This is if this is the greatest show of all time, and I leave that in the critics' eyes, the people's eyes. You guys are the ones that judge that. If it is, it's because of you guys sharing your stories and being vulnerable. Nate just said it. Your vulnerability. You don't have to share these personal stories. You are choosing to. And I just want to know, for anyone that has continued, or will, thank you. Thank you. Good, bad, sad, happy. I appreciate all the stories that are being shared on this show in particular. It means the world. Thank you very much. 3 siblings. Oh, shit. He says...
wow.
24-hour stream. Well, check the watch in an hour in change. I have to check out of this hotel room because that's all that's all, folks. Giddy up. That's all that I have left for this hotel room. And then I have to go see my family. But I love the chutzpah. 3 siblings. Member for 9 months. I love the chutzpah there. This has been a crazy show. I can't believe it's gone as long as it has. And a shout out to my beautiful fiance, Tatiana. And look at that. I didn't even see her in here. And there it is. Tatiana Davis saying, Happy Father's Day, Dada. And oh my God, I got to tell you real quick, and then we'll get back to the phone lines. On YouTube, I don't, these damn, I've established I'm an idiot several times. So I don't know how they do all this, but like they listen to you and somehow the commercials are like attuned to you. There is a YouTube commercial. I don't know how many of you guys have also seen it. It's a little girl running out of her house going, Dada, you're home. And I'm like, oh God. Every time I fold like a used lawn chair. I start crying. I'm like, gosh, darn it, son of a... I could be home. I could be on the road. Anything could be happening. And I melt like a baby. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And it's even sadder. If you, like, normally I'll skip an ad. Like, even that, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to cry. It gets even sadder the longer you listen to that particular commercial I'm talking about, because the daughter has, I believe it's leukemia, and it's even sadder. But, like, it's just the hearing the data thing. I'm like, oh, Jesus. It's just incredibly moving. Incredibly moving. So shout out to my fiance. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I can't wait to see my children later. That's going to be amazing. And again, that my fiance's in here. I don't know if she's been watching the whole hour plus here. I gave you full credit to Bret Michaels for the shirts, which he complimented, said, whoa, sweet shirts. The bandanas, which my father, by the way, loved. He loved these bandanas. My fiance got a cajillion of them for us for the concert. Loved those. Got us snacks for the room. She just thought of everything. And that's why I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I have the most beautiful fiance, the most thoughtful and everything. She's my world. And it's amazing. And I'm so lucky. I guess she said that to say Mama got the kids donuts. What the hell? Okay. Hope some are left when I get home, I guess. You see, they teach you this in Taekwondo. I haven't been doing the teaching part in a while, but when you're grading a student, when we're at a Dan testing, that's what it's called. When you're at a Dan testing, right? They say, Paul, we want you to do a sandwich. Compliment, insult, compliment. So if you give an insult, sandwich it with a couple of compliments, right? So Tatiana goes, you're the best dad. I'm like, yeah, we bought donuts and you're not having any, fatty. And I'm like, what the hell? And that's what happened, apparently. So thanks. Great. No donuts for Pop. Interesting. Let's get to a super chat, then we'll get back to the phone lines here. We have a Julian Man, ASW, with the holy cannoli, a $20 super chat.
Wow.
All right. I don't know if we're allowed to use this kind of language on Father's Day, but
Here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Happy Father's Day, sirs. Love the Jets talk in the morning. Maybe he's saying normally, because there's been nip and pip on the the Jets talk this morning, but that's okay. We pivot and do what the stuff commands here. So, Julian, man, by the way, you got yourself a bounty of raffle tickets here. I will do all of that later when I get back home. I'm keeping track of it in my notes here on the show, but I will keep track of your raffle tickets. You got yourself 6 raffle tickets plus some change. You're $1 away from another raffle ticket as well. More on that to come when I return home and get all that together. So beautiful from that perspective. Absolutely cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to the phone lines. And this is a guy. Sometimes when you guys are sharing stories, I have no idea about your stories. You're sharing a story, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's the story about your father. This next caller who's about to come on the show, I got to meet his father. He's in the Father of the Year running every year. I mean, it's sort of unfair. I wish he would drop out a couple years to give me a chance because he's just killing it as among the fathers of the year. And it is the father of the third guy, a.k.a. Johnny Boy, here on the program. You've got an all-star, Dad, and you already know that, Johnny.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you, BG, as well, and to your
Thanks, brother.
too, man. And major shout out to all the fathers out there, man. My pops, long time took me. It's easy to get somebody pregnant, but it's harder to be a dad. You know, I know that sounds nuts to say that. Like when I had my first kid, it's like one of the things that my pop said to me.
Yeah,
like straight gave me like the realness. He was like, "You need to be a pops, just like I was," type of shit. And I never understood it until I had my kid. and I, just like what Nate was sharing about like his pops and all that. Shout out to Nate's dad, man. Like that's dope. And the stuff that he's done for him. And to everybody out there. I became a Mets, Jets, Rangers because of my pops, man. So I mean, you met my dad. You saw how he's my pop. He's crazy, man, but he's a good dude, and it's a trip, man. I wish I could, like my grandparents, like my grandfather and all that were a big influence in my life growing up as well. And never got to meet my kids, so I wish they could have, type of thing. But it's Father's Day, man. So this is dope, and I had to come up here, man. Like this was an amazing show. Being able like to hear what everybody's talking about and just being able to open up the way it is too, like that's dope, man. You're building a community that feels comfortable enough to be able to share these stories and continue to keep it growing, man. So shout you out, BG. Like this is cool, man. Love to hear the different things, man. My pops used to work for Hess, so I'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
So my pops used to work for Hess. Jay Quest and Snowball, they know where my dad's gas stations were and everything. And he used to get tickets to go to a lot of the Jet games back in the day. But the reason I became a Jet fan, I tell everybody all the time, was in 1994. My dad played soccer. He used to play for like the Rough Riders, and anybody that's out in like around the island and everything, they know what that team is. And he took us to Hofstra, and they were practicing. And I remember seeing Metro Stars goalie Tony Miola, right, kicking the crap out of the ball, but just could not get it through the uprights. Like he sucked at it, right? And I was hooked. And ever since then, man, I've been rocking with the Jets. And then my dad's co-worker, his co-worker, his brother was the travel agent for the Mets organization.
Wow.
Yeah, so we used to get tickets and sit right behind home plate.
Holy shit.
And dude, I mean, I remember seeing like Carlos Delgado, being able to see all those kids. Like that's how far back I went watching the stuff. And that's why, to me, man, like I love football as well. Like I'm all about the Jets, but I think the Mets and baseball has such a like deeper place in my heart, because I feel like baseball is the only sport that you could watch the actual game, have a full-blown conversation, and still not miss anything.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
well
like,
said, yeah.
And I just remember, man, like just being young and my pops showing me the ropes, talking to me about the different plays and stuff like that, and just growing up and seeing, and it was the Mets, man. Like, you know what I mean? So back in Shea Stadium, too. So you would like go up to the stadium, the blue stadium, and I remember seeing the like the little catcher and stuff like that in the background. And yeah, man. So I'm pretty hyped. I'm hyped to go see my pops actually right now. I'm about to go take all the kids.
Yeah.
And, drop them off to grandfather and then go get breakfast with them.
Of
So
course. Hey, tradition.
how was the so I really didn't hear about the concert, man. Like did you guys like throw yourself on the crowd? You guys go crowd surfing? Was your pops throwing any kegs around? Like
That's a good point. So obviously, it's just like the Jets game, right? Week 5, Jets Cowboys. That's a game we're going to. It's Sunday, October 5th. But what's the weather going to be? We have no idea. We've committed right now, not knowing anything. We hope it's good, but only God knows. So as we're here at this concert yesterday, it is pouring like a mother. I mean, it is raining from the high heavens, and I'm like, Jesus. Like, to me, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, and I was like, this was probably not smart. Hey, suck it, Mother Nature. Is that all you got, bitch? And so that probably was less than ideal because it started to rain immediately harder, and my dad gave me a look like a moron and wanted to slap me in the back of the head for that one. Yeah, so the weather was terrible at first, and they had 3 bands. There was Quiet Riot, who started us off. Then it went to Night Ranger. Then it was Bret Michaels and the Bret Michaels band. And during Quiet Riot, I mean, it is pouring like nobody's business. They had some really cool pictures of like the rain pouring down on everybody and them doing the thing. And then at the end of like Quiet Riot, they were getting into Night Ranger, and then the rain started to dissipate and disappear. And then Bret Michaels came out, and it all sort of worked out. I mean, the concert was insane. I've been blessed. I know a lot of people, for instance, for the Jets game, I know some people going to that Jets game with us that have never been to a Jets game before. To me, that's so cool, and I love hearing stories like that. And then we go to this concerts. I know some people have never been to a concert, and I've been very blessed that I've gone to all kinds of concerts. Kiss, I've gone to, oh my God, Bret Michaels, Poison, Aerosmith, Motley Crue. Like, I've seen everybody, and it's been amazing to see. So to go to this concert again, where I got to buy the tickets, I got to set it up, I got to get the hotel room I booked it, and I'm not trying to do that to pat myself on the back, but it was just to tell my dad, like, hey, buddy, you sit down, I'm taking care of you. And whenever you get a chance to do that as a son for the first time, and again, you normally can't as a kid. Shout out to Nate, who apparently saved his allowance for 30 years so he could afford to take his dad out there. He's a way better son than I was. I didn't do any of that. I spent all the allowance on myself selfishly, but cool for him. But for me, when I became an adult, I'm like, I can't wait for that moment where I'm in a financial position where I can not just take him out for ice cream. Like, I could, like, we're doing this thing. And this was the first time ever that I was able to do it. So to do it to this level, get to meet friggin' Bret Michaels, to do this again, I keep looking at this picture to try to like say it's not true or it didn't really happen or I didn't meet him or hang out with, like, that is insane. And again, I shit you not, this picture is going to be behind Boy Green Daily tomorrow if I could get something printed fast enough for the rest of my life, because we're going to have that forever. But the concert was insane. I mean, Bret Michaels, man, for someone who's never seen him before, he only played for about an hour, which surprised me. I thought it was going to go longer, but it doesn't even matter. Like, the hour-ish he packed in, every song he's jumping around, every song he got everyone. There's pyro and crazy ass shit that's going around and girls dancing. I mean, it was insane. So the show was freaking awesome. I mean, I will never forget it. Tatiana mentioned another one I went to, Blink 182, which is a concert I took her to on a big anniversary. So sorry that wasn't an immediate one that had jumped out, but yes, that's on the list, of course, as I continue to get myself in trouble. But yeah, so it was fucking insane. And obviously the meet and greet thing takes it to some unbelievable level. But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. That's dope, man. Bro, I'm on the same boat, man. Now that I'm older, a lot older and whatnot. I've been doing it for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Any game that I go to, like I bring my pops.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know, man. It's something like it's weird if I'm not at a game, right, and my dad's not there, because like we're there just talking. We're talking ball, and then to be able to bring my daughter to these games with my pops and then seeing them interact, together and all that stuff like that just means the world, man. Like, bro, like I was telling you, man, and you'll see it. It's when my daughter graduated elementary school, bro, like in elementary school, right? Like you're supposed to graduate type of thing, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. And it's just it's crazy seeing them walk that stage and just like I'm like, shit, she's growing up on me like really, really fast. And I'm not like, I was not prepared for that shit because all those emotions and all those things just start to hit you at one shot. And it was amazing, man. And then, you know, and you'll see what I'm talking about, man. But being able to like to share those moments where she's saying her first JETS, Jets, her first Let's Go Mets, Let's Go Mets chant, right? Having her sing the Rangers victory when we the goal song when they go ahead and score, like all these things, like this kid knows all this stuff like that, and it's because something with sports we've been able to truly relate to as well, and it continues. Now my son, he's always saying JETS, Jets,
Oh, God,
right?
that's the best.
And it's gonna happen with Addie when she gets older and whatnot. So I'll say this, and I'm gonna end it on that, man. Look,
sure,
to all the dads that are out there and stuff, happy Father's Day to you. Keep doing the things that you guys are doing. Them kids, they're paying attention, man. They might be very tough. They might be like very rebellious and whatnot. They're gonna rebel from you guys and all that. And I was one of those, man. Like I pushed the envelope close to the edge as much as I could and everything. And my parents, my dad, they never like were like, oh, you suck or you're like this and all that. It was always in my corner, man. So shout out to all of those dads that are out there that continue this stuff, man. This day shouldn't just be one day. I feel like it should be every single day. Appreciate what you have as of right now because not everything is promised tomorrow. And to all the guys that are out there that has lost their father and all that, this one's for you guys. If I had a drink, I'd pour one out for them and whatnot. So, all right, BG, well, let me start getting all like, this stuff.
Had a lot of that today.
Yeah, man. BG, it was awesome what you did with your pops, man. And I know he appreciate that stuff and everything like that, So, but his takes about the Cowboys and are still horrible, man. So
they're awful. Yeah.
Peace.
Well, hopefully they get better. Thanks, Johnny, for that. Let's play a bunch of comments here. So Gator McCluskey says, nothing but a good time, but only for an hour, because he said he saw Bret a couple years ago and he only played for an hour. Here's the I'll just say this. Again, the hour he gave us last night was insane. That sounds incredibly perverted. I didn't mean it that way. The hour on stage, in terms of the concert that he provided everyone, was insane and it was great. But throughout it, he kept saying, and I don't give a shit, we're gonna party all night long. And he kept saying that. And I looked at my dad like, holy shit, I'm not because I had to drop off my dad at 5 a.m. this morning to the airport so he could go on his crazy airport journey that he's going on. And Bret kept saying it. He would do a song and go and it's the start of this outdoor tour he's doing. So yesterday was the first of all these shows he's going to be doing. He kept saying, I don't give a shit what they tell me. We're going to keep going. And I was like, holy fuck, maybe this is going to be like the longest concert ever. And he just kept saying it. So me and my dad kept looking at each other like, holy shit, is this going to? And then it ended up being an hour. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but it was awesome. It was incredibly awesome. Let's highlight some more comments here. Gator McCluskey said, saw Bret Michaels a couple years ago. Great show, but only did an hour as a headliner on Skinny Bop Baby. Yes, that was there. Nothing but a good time. He has this saying, it's on his website about all this no filler, he doesn't play just random songs. There was a lot of songs I like he did not play. He played all the hits, though. He played the main ones. But he was the headliner for this too, and it was an hour for that. But yeah, like I said, the hour was amazing. So let's see, Taylor Sterling here. How funny is it going to be when AR8 leads the Steelers to their first non-playoff season this century? Taylor Sterling says, and I agree. I sort of think that's what's going to happen. But I also want to do this. I also want to do this real quick, here on the show, because this has been a very special show for obvious reasons. It's been incredible, and I've really enjoyed it. It's I appreciate everyone that's shared their stories. It's been very touching and emotional, and quite frankly, everything in between. This show has been for all of us. So I appreciate everybody for choosing to share. They didn't have to share these stories, and they did. So for that, I am incredibly grateful that you guys were willing to do those here on the program. But there is something that I do want to do, and we are about to wrap up the show. I'm going to play a couple more comments and things of that nature. I absolutely will here on the program for sure. As I'm trying to, again, I say sometimes I'm a monkey operating a spotlight here, and I can't get things appropriately working. Let me see if I can do this. Yes. You guys didn't, there was no bounty set, but B Mac and fake B Mac, he is putting his ass in the grinder. There's no time for your bullshit today, buddy. You're on the grinder.
You mess with Kurt and you go into the grinder.
Okay, now this grinder of yours, is it a real grinder or is it some kind of a metaphor?
That's it. You're gone. Adios, TKO'd. Historical.
Wait. I won't be funny no more, see?
Security.
You ain't got to bring the man down here. Wait a second. Kurt, come on, please. I need this job,
Take
Kurt.
out the trash.
Trash? Oh, now look at here.
Get these moves out of my face.
Fake B Mac, get your ass out of here. Okay? Read the room, pal. We're all crying over here. We're going, right, you can win 50 fights this year. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Get the fuck out. Unbelievable. Read the bleeping room, pal. Honestly. Seriously? B-Mac, Jets suck. Hey, all Jets dad, suck it. What a dick. Sometimes we dabble. We play with your goofy bullshit. But come on, man. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. For God's sakes, B-Mac. Loser. The who, the her. 24-hour ban out. I didn't even set about it and say, $10, you guys get 10 raffle tickets, and fuck you. Get out. No extra necessary. Thank you very much. Fucking fake B-Mac. What the goddamn, what in the love of everything that's holy. Get the hell out of here. You bastard. All right, let's highlight a couple more comments here. We'll wrap up the show. I promise. Sharon, your girlfriend's initials are TD. Is that just a coincidence? No. Touchdown, baby. She's a touchdown. I scored. I punched it in there. Actually, now that sounds... Well, I guess I punched it in there twice into the end zone for 2 kids. Hey-oh. Anywho. Sorry, Tatiana. I just told 300 plus people live that we had intercourse that led to children, but I'm sure they sort of got that part of the picture. But so yes, touchdown for the Jets, a touchdown for the children, a touchdown for a smoking hot fiance. Yeah, the Lord has blessed me. Yes, quite nicely. Yes. Easy here, $2 super chat. Hey now, we love the support here on the program.
Wow.
Easy, another $2 in here. Appreciate you, pal. You don't know true love till you have a child. I would absolutely concur with said information. That is true. Absolutely. Again, having children, it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't have them. They don't understand. It's hard to explain, but have children and you'll sort of get the picture. That's for sure. A cool thing is, while there's been some criticisms here about the length of Bret Michaels' specific part of the show from some of the fans in here, I would just say he killed the hour. So Indy says, your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. And Bret Michaels is friggin' talented. He can sing. He can play the guitar. He can play the harmonica. And he was just going to town on the harmonica. And I was like, holy shit. Not that I didn't know that. I knew he could play the harmonica, but he went to town on the your mama don't dance and daddy don't rock and roll song. I mean, he blew the roof off. There's no roof. It was outdoor, but he blew it off. I mean, that's probably why there's no roof. Unbelievable. He killed the harmonica, and that got the fans going crazy. So salute to Bret Michaels. Yeah. MFC saying, can't wait to see my kids later. I'm making chorizo mac and cheese, Italian hot dogs. Got to go get ready. Happy Father's Day to all. He mentioned this quite a bit ago, but thank you, MFC. Enjoy the time with the children, man. Happy Father's Day. Yes, to everybody here on the program. Yes, absolutely. So special Father's Day. Gator McCluskey, Jet fans need to stop worrying about the Steelers record and focus on our own team, who hasn't had a winning record since before some of you could retain an erection without medication. Wow, that's colorful and possibly true. That's neither here nor there, but yes, we do got to worry about ourselves. We're not good enough to worry about other people. We got to worry about ourselves, our own shit. When we're Super Bowl contenders, we're like, oh, what is everyone else doing? But we're not there yet. We are not there yet. But wildly specific there, Gator. Thank you for that. Tatiana still watching, saying, my God. Well, the rest of the world just heard that. Okie dokie. Artichokey. My apologies. Pound town. Like button. All right, everybody, in all seriousness, that's going to wrap up the show. Again, I'm going to throw this back up on the screen one more time. And this might get eventually annoying to people. Maybe it was even annoying today that I've shown this picture a million times. It's never going to get annoying to me. It's going to be the coolest moment of my life with my dad to share this cool memory. Of course, the birth of my children, eventually marrying my fiance before I'm dead. All of those things are high on the list. But this was surreal. This was awesome. And Bret Michaels, rock on, brother. And we'll have this forever. And putting my own personal selfish thing aside, all of you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, joking aside here, thank you. And I don't want to start naming people because I'm going to miss people. All of your stories were powerful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Thank you for embracing this show. I'm looking right into the camera here. Thank you for embracing this show. Thank you for, like, this show. I'm like, boy, is this even going to resonate? We're 2+ hours. I guess it resonated. Thank you to the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to you guys out there. Thanks for supporting the show. We celebrate 5 years in September. Boy Green Daily, obviously, the new name of it. It was once called The Jet Show. My YouTube channel was birthed 5 years ago in September, ahead of that beautiful 2-14 season. Thank the Lord. What a time to start a YouTube show, Paul. But I'll tell you this. Thank you. Thank you guys for supporting the show. Thank you for putting up with my bullshit. We have a lot of awesome Jets content creators out there in the world. You choose to spend your time with me. Whoever you are out there, watching, listening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I love that people are saying this is an amazing show and the best show that I've ever done, or the best show that's ever been done with the Boy Green Daily or Jet stuff. And that means the world. This is a show that, to be honest, at the beginning, when I started putting all this together, putting the headline, Boy Green Daily, Special Father's Day with my dad meeting Bret Michaels, I said out loud, this show probably won't do as well as other Jet shows because of the name, right? It's a Jet show and it has some weird special thing that Paul's going to talk about on the show. But I said to myself, I don't give a fuck about the clicks or the views for this. It's not about that. It's about Father's Day. It's about telling this story, and people that vibe with it are going to vibe with it, and people that don't or won't. And I hope just people enjoyed it. And I'm glad that so many of you did resonate. And again, for people that were not live, I don't know how you couldn't have been. It was two bleeping hours here on Father's Day. But if somehow you missed this and didn't watch live, you're watching after the fact, thank you, and continue to share your stories in the comments. This is Father's Day. This is beautiful. And it's pretty cool. Shout out to Barbara, who's going to be at her tailgate. She says, you're so real. That's why I like it. And yes, I lay my cards out on the table. I just try to be who I am and allow you guys to accept it or not accept it. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be something I'm not. And that's what I try to do. Johnny Boy asks, what did Bret Michaels smell like? Mahogany. Yes. Fine wood. We did a dap and slap, gave a little handshake, and then hug. And yes. I shook his hand probably 100 times because I didn't know what else to do. Like at first when he came up and was like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Again, we're at the front of the line. He shook my hand first and like did the handshake and like hold technique. He was like, man, did you enjoy the show, man? Again, he's so engaging. He's locking eye contact. Saying, do you enjoy the show, man? Yeah, thank you. It was an awesome time. Sorry about the rain. I'm like, I don't fuck the rain, man. And he just, boom, put a handshake in. Then we took a picture. Then another handshake. It gave probably 12 handshakes. And then the hug. Mahogany wood, believe it or not. A fine wood is what Bret Michaels smelled like. He smelled terrific. You probably already knew that, but he did. He smelled fantastic, for those asking. Indy says, did I sing in the shower with him? There actually, when we're waiting backstage, because like Bret Michaels wasn't in the public for the meet and greet, there were showers right there. So I didn't go in it because I didn't want to miss out on the Bret Michaels thing. So I didn't use the bathroom or take a shower. But there was a shower option, which is sort of, I guess it makes sense. A shower room. I've never seen that before. So I guess it makes sense. Like, how else are they taking a shower out there? Hep, did I throw my underwear on stage? No. I don't know how I would have. I'm not one of those that can like take off your underwear without doing something weird. So not that I would have been able to find out that technique, Hep, but I guess that's neither here nor there, I guess. 3 siblings with AO. Well, sorry, man. I'm just kind of calling it how I see it here. Philliam saying it was a beautiful day. And thanks for sharing. Yes, absolutely spectacular, for sure. And there's one more place to end. Johnny Boy has another comment here. Johnny, please. Yeah.
BG, real fast, because
Yeah.
you just said it, and I think this will be funny as shit for everybody, right?
Okay.
So I told you, right, I'm a big sports fan, right? So
Yeah,
one of my favorite players of all time and everything is the New York Mets captain, right? The captain.
Yeah, of course.
David Wright.
Yes.
So what I do for work, right? I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people, and
Okay. Nice flex.
I met David Wright.
Oh, right? Wow, that's awesome,
bro. I'm in a full blown 3-piece suit, the whole nine,
Holy
right?
shit.
Conducting business and
because of your work, right? That makes sense.
So he's there. He comes up, right, bro. I say the most fruitiest thing imaginable that I think my wife still makes fun of me to this day about it, right? So he comes up, you know, he's whatever, we shake hands and all that. And I go to him, just want to let you know that I'm a giant Mets fan and you're still the captain in my heart. The face this dude looked at me, bro, say that to another grown man, right? And it hit me till a lot later, right? I was like, I just told another grown man that you're the captain. You're still the captain
in my
heart.
Wow.
So I say that and I'm out. Peace.
I'll tell you this. Unfortunately, I didn't get to say anything embarrassing. Bret Michaels is a commanding presence. He led the when he went, like, he was addressing sort of the crowd, right? There's 20 people that got a chance to meet and greet with him that had some special thing. And me and my dad were one of the 20, so 18 other people. And he addresses the crowd like, hey, everybody, thanks for coming out tonight. And then because I'm first in line, like I'm standing there, he goes, put it to me. And he just starts driving the car. Did you have a good time tonight? I'm like, yeah, man, that was fucking sweet. And then I had some things in my head. I thought I was going to say, like I was going to introduce him obviously to my father and say, man, he served 20 years in the United States Navy. They were celebrating Flag Day and they're celebrating our armed forces. So I was going to introduce him to my dad. And then I didn't. And I was going to say something about Rock of Love, if you guys have ever seen that show. Amazon Prime. That's worth a watch. All 3 seasons. A rewatch if you guys didn't see that in the heyday. Great show. But I was going to make a comment about that, but like it just sort of didn't happen. We had that. If you guys watched the beginning of this stream, 2+ hours, watch the beginning of the stream, I explained my whole story, what we were talking about, I believe, of going through it. Like he made a whole joke that I couldn't get my hand out of my pocket and then the horns up. So we had a whole like that conversation. So I didn't have a chance to have the perhaps embarrassing conversations we would have. So that ended up never happening. And also Bret Michaels on the show says, what's that going on? That's like what he says to people. What's that going on? Not what is going on with you? He says, what's that going on? That's like his Bret Michaels thing. And I was going to say it when I met him. So I guess that would have been Johnny, your fruity thing. I was like, what's it going on, Bret Michaels? But I never got to say it. So I guess I didn't get a chance to embarrass myself, although he is tagged in this stream on Twitter, so he could rewatch this later. Not sure, but either way. Everybody, in all seriousness, it was fun. Thank you for all the comments. There was laughs. There were tears and a really good time. So this was an incredible show, an unexpected show from me, quite frankly, both on that this show was going to be it, that you guys were going to share these stories with us. Oh, God, I mean, amazing. I see J-Boy popping up in here. Happy Father's Day, BG. Thank you, J-Boy. And again, thank you for what you did, donating a ticket to the Jets-Cowboys tailgate so one of our listeners could go. That was super kind of you. You didn't have to do that. I know you're not going to be able to go, so Very nice of you. Salute to J-Boy. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Bret Michaels is my thing with my dad. You guys have all your own different versions of father Mets game, as Nate was talking about, or other things of that. But there was laughter, there was crying, there was excitement, there was enjoyment, there was all kinds of things in this show. And thank you for allowing us to have this show. And Brian, again, we're here for you, brother. Coffee Club forever. Horns up. We're thinking about you, brother. Hey, man, you are not alone in this. You are not alone in this. You are not alone in this. Always remember that, Brian. We're here for you, brother. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I got to leave this hotel room before they throw me out or charge me another night. I guess then we could do a 24-hour live stream. I'm just kidding. My fiance would kill me. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in. One of the most special shows of all time. I'm going to remember the show forever because of you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Like the video and hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers. That's the next big milestone, baby. We'll see if we can get it. Happy Father's Day, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of Boy Green Daily. God bless.